NaruTalk, the Naruto ShipPodcast, is made possible through contributions from listeners like you. To help support the podcast and to earn exclusive rewards, head to www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. That's www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. Believe it!
Hey everyone, this is Naruto Uzumaki, and you're listening to NaruTalk. Believe it!
Hello everyone, welcome back to NaruTalk, the greatest podcast ever to be all about Naruto. I'm your host, Liam English, and with me as always is my co-host, Morgan Williamson.
Hello, my friends. How are you doing? You can't answer
They
me.
cannot answer. I mean, they can if they write in, I guess.
Write in and let me know how you're doing.
That'll be at least a week from now.
Fine Monday.
Do you like the way that I say your name every episode when I do this?
No, I think you need to say it a different way.
Slide. I could go
No,
from
you know exactly how you need to say it.
Oh, Williamson.
Perfect.
Yeah. As if I was a drill sergeant. I think, no, that is a good way to do it, especially if anybody at home is trying to do, like, push-ups or whatever. We could say the podcast like a drill sergeant, and people can exercise to NaruTalk.
Oh my.
That'll be the next...
fucking people who do push-ups at their house, that shit blows my mind. I try to do that, like, several times a month. I can't. I always be like, easy, I could do it.
It's because you've never had a podcast pushing you.
Exactly.
That could be the next Patreon episode. We could do...
It's just a push-up, a fitness episode.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, get in shape with NaruTalk.
It's like we're training them.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
To be
Just
our
like
little
real
ninjas.
ninja. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god!
We are all Iruka.
The little ninjas.
Oh my gosh.
We now have a fan base name.
We already did. It's NaruTalkers.
Nope. Little ninjas.
Of course.
Ninjas is better.
Little Ninjas is a video game, I think, right? Mini
what?
Ninjas? Little Ninjas?
Mini,
something like that?
No, iNinja, I think. Or Mini Ninja.
There's almost definitely an app called iNinja.
Definitely.
And I definitely got it when I was a kid, wishing that there was a Naruto game on the App Store, because there wasn't for so long.
iPhone games are just, like, early iPhone games were
Yeah.
fucking... Dude, what is that one with the fruit?
Fruit Ninja.
Doodle Jump.
Oh.
Angry Birds.
Temple Run. Great list of... Sorry. Anyways, of course, I'm also joined by my co-host, Katie Sederi.
Hi.
Katie, you said that you were into slice of life anime and manga, right?
Well, I named a couple animes I liked, and then you decided that they were slice of life, and then say that every time you talk about what animes I'm into, so
Were
sure.
they slice of life?
I don't totally know what that means.
Like,
yeah.
like were they a slice of the characters' lives, so to speak?
Was it a Hallmark movie?
Some of them
but
were.
Anime?
The, like, campy...
Yeah,
heartwarming
yeah,
little
I guess,
things,
yeah. Okay.
The only point is that typically the only anime or manga that I've ever read or watched are shonen, which is like Naruto, etc.
Yeah,
But this week I watched, first of all, there's this Netflix anime called Carol and Tuesday, which is about two folk musicians in the city on Mars in the future.
Oh, cool.
Insane.
Yeah. And then also I'm reading this manga called Boys Over Flowers, which, listen, I know that doesn't sound like an interesting thing, but holy shit, it's good.
Really?
Like,
Send
it
me
is
that. I wanna-
crazy.
Wait, what is it about? Like a premise,
This
just like quick.
girl went to a poor, like, middle school and earlier than middle school, elementary. And now she goes to, like, this really rich, really preppy high school. And there's these four dudes who run the school. They're called the Four Flowers. And they're like the pretty boys, and they're all hot shit. And she gets on their bad side, but they run this town, baby. So now
They run the
Yeah.
town, baby.
But it's just, I don't know if there's an anime or anything, but the manga is, like, super well drawn. It's just, like, I feel like I'm reading an action thing, but it's about this girl and the Four Flowers.
Liam, I've got a question for you.
Yes? What's the name of the fourth co-host?
No.
Because for those wondering, it is, of course, Raj.
Hey guys, I am the fourth co-host. It's special number 4.
Yeah, lucky
It's,
number 4.
Lucky number 4, which uses 3 lines to be made.
F-O-U-R. 4 letters in the
4
number
letters.
4. Is that true for all numbers? F-I-V-E. Nope.
No.
Wait, dude, I think 6 might do it.
S-I-X. Damn it. All right, well, obviously, if you put any thought into anything that I say, it's not going to hold up.
If you don't squint, like, hard enough, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Anyways, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Last semester, you and I did a show.
That's
And I remember very vividly, during one of the rehearsals, when we were supposed to be not doing anything that we were, you were reading a manga. Do you remember what one it was?
Probably One Piece, to be honest, at the time.
We brought One Piece.
Speaking of, today is International Talk Like a Pirate Day, but it is also the release of the newest One Piece chapter, which only is relevant because, first of all, I tweeted about it on the NaruTalk Twitter, and second of all, isn't that fun? It's a manga all about pirates, and they happen to line up, and it's all good. They're all friends
about pirates.
If we're gonna bust out NaruTalk related things, fucking, I referenced Kevin James. Fucking King of Queens.
Sure.
Dude, he just confirmed Paul Blart 3. Like, he's doing it.
Oh my god.
Hardcore. I didn't see Paul Blart 2, but I did see Paul Blart in theaters, which I think maybe several times.
For preference, so if Paul Blart 3 is fantastic, we did that.
We called it.
If it sucked,
not us.
No, not
that
us.
was the bad guys.
Those are the
other Naruto.
Those are the two Baruto guys over there.
The two other Naruto podcasts that exist out there. And if either of them are listening, I see you, and I swear to God, I'm coming for you.
Oh my.
You guys, the people at home haven't seen it, but like they can't see it. But Liam's veins just protruded out so hard, dude, and he just started tensing up like a reptile.
He started vibrating.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we've talked about one of them before that has a terrible name. Obviously, I'm not going to plug either of them.
Yeah.
But I found another one this week that actually has a pretty decent pun name, and it just,
those fucking bastards and their puns.
Yeah. We are the greatest podcast ever to be all about Naruto. Speaking of our podcast, guys, what is it about? Morgan, Katie, lay it on me.
Every week we watch 2 to 4 episodes of Naruto, and then we come here and we talk about it. I'm nervous. I think it shows.
It's fair. Well, see, we're in a new recording space this week, and now we're at like a table with the mic in the middle.
We're like all real people.
We're all looking at each other. It's almost like we're having a real conversation, which is probably why the intro has been so much longer, because we're actually talking this week.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, 2 to 4 episodes a week. 2 of us new to Naruto. 2 of us super fans. Encyclopedias of Naruto, one might say.
That was the part that I was going to say, but he got it.
Yeah, he did it.
You'll do it next week, because we had Raj last week and Katie did. Speaking of last week's episode, that was our 10th episode, and I totally forgot to like say anything or celebrate.
Big
but
double digit.
That is exciting, right?
Yay!
Because that's kind of the last time we can celebrate until we get to, I guess, 100.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true.
50?
25?
25? Fourth of 100? Sure. Also a good number.
Would 25 land on some special day? Like if it was around Christmas, that would be like our Christmas special.
Actually, it might, but we're gonna have to pre-tape the Christmas one anyways.
Word. Oh, fuck.
But,
right.
I mean, our dorm room will be definitely decorated, so we can bring decorations in our new recording space,
Oh.
and it can be all Christmassy.
Yeah, and we can get our patrons to dress up like Santa Claus because they give us gifts of money.
Aww.
Dude, I think...
Get them to come dressed up, and like, where are they going to be with these
For
costumes?
context, we leave, December?
I honestly need to look at our breaks.
The last day is December 13th, I think.
Yeah, December 13th to like January 2nd, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So you're essentially going into winter and you're coming back into like a winter. So
yeah, which sucks.
We're gonna have to record this at the early stages. So having to emulate the power of Christmas.
Yeah.
like 4 weeks
we'll
ahead
have to
of
play
time.
Christmas music before we record.
I can do it. If there's one thing I can do is I can make Christmas happen.
Yeah, well, I want to do because I love on TV shows that are like Law and Order, where it's usually about like grisly murder and shit, but then they have a Christmas special where like there's a murder on the floor and they're like, but then who's on the roof? And you hear reindeer steps. They look outside and they see like the sleigh flying away. They're like, my God, Santa is real. So I want to do that here.
That's so funny.
At the end of one of our episodes, we have like sleigh bells. I'll edit them in distantly, and we'll be like, "What is that? Is that Santa Claus on the roof?"
Is that Santa Claus?
Oh my God, it's Orochimaru. On the themes of the things that are 10 and divisible thereby, we're also at 1% to our Patreon goal. So thank you so much to everybody who's gone to www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod and pledged money, because we are 1% of our way to $3,000 a month, which is what I have decided I can afford to take us all to Disneyland with.
Yes. Get us to Disneyland.
Yeah, to be clear, just Avatar Land, but a 5-day vacation.
Yes.
So, okay.
We're going to know it like the back of our hands.
That's fantastic.
Other things that it is today, it's Area 51 Raid Eve, which is relevant to Naruto.
I forgot.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, right.
That's
But in the original post, they were like, let's all Naruto run to Area 51. So, relevant, and we'll see what happens. I mean, by the time this is out, you will all know what's happened.
To any of our supporters out there, if you go, please rep NaruTalk.
Yeah, really.
Make
Oh my
bootleg
gosh.
merch or
Yeah,
like
If
a
you-
sticker.
Yeah, if you see people Naruto running into Area 51, be
Yeah,
like, excuse me, listen to NaruTalk. Listen to... Oh, no, you got shot.
Oh,
Never
he
mind.
exploded.
That'll be the landmines.
Oh no.
Other anniversaries coming up. September 21st, which is this Saturday, is Naruto's 20th anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah.
exciting!
So which will have passed. But yeah, the manga started 20 years ago this Saturday, and it's also kicks off Viz Media's Year of Naruto celebration. So I've already emailed them, and hopefully they can sponsor us somehow. I don't know how, but they on their website, it's like, we're going to bring out games and movies and whatever else. And I was like, what about a podcast? But
Incredible.
that's the dream anyways.
As much as we talk about it, if you haven't bought Storm 3 yet, you should.
Yeah.
This is now the time. They're going to put that shit for like $2.
On sale,
yeah, for real.
Storm 3 is the game we play on my Switch all the time.
It is
I know, I listen.
fantastic.
To the podcast.
Yes.
I also tweeted out a picture from Storm 3 today because Naruto has a pirate costume in the
Dude,
game.
that was hilarious. The alternate
Pirate.
costumes are funny. Gondola Naruto.
Yeah.
Fucking
Napoleon, Sasuke.
anime,
Well,
schoolboy,
they're all
Kakashi.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so
Yeah,
yes, we
right.
do usually talk about 2 to 4 episodes of Naruto, and this week we are talking about episodes 29 and 30, which is their battle against the Grass Genin in the Forest of Death.
Which is 3 and 4 and 2.
Well, here's the thing. I am sticking to the numbering system of like 29, 30, and so on because I don't want to say because it's easier to pirate the episodes that way.
Really?
Anyways, the episodes we're watching this week are 29 and 30. So without any further ado, let's Naruto talk about it. We open with Naruto asking once again what the password is, but Sakura assures him that they know he's the real deal. Only he could be so dumb. Still lost in hysterics, Sasuke desperately cries for his teammate to escape while he still can. If we remember from last week, Sasuke is fucking terrified of this Grass Genin.
Dude, no, yeah, you can see in his fucking eyes.
Yeah, well, they had that whole hallucination scene where he just envisioned them dying. The grass ninja coiled around a tree branch like a Gorgon
Like a
now,
Gorgon,
for real.
yeah.
Yeah, because they're
She's like feet, at the end of the like.
I really
snake.
didn't like it
Oh,
at
was
all.
I know, because
awful.
they don't draw enough of her, so you just see her feet flop to the
It
side.
was so
Yeah, it's
ugh.
terrifying. It were her
But
legs.
she's also just like chilling there.
I know, I think she literally has like an arm resting, and she's like, hello.
Hello.
But
I'm coiled around a tree.
I mean, what would you do if you were coiled around a tree, you know?
Say hello.
Well, yeah, and she does.
And she does.
And then she commends Naruto for escaping the giant snake. And Naruto realizes it was no natural beast. We were wondering this last week.
Yes.
It was definitely summoned by the
That
grass
dialogue,
ninja.
man. He was
Yeah.
like fucking, that wasn't a random snake attack. Like, he put it together. No,
yeah.
definitely.
Aha!
Ah, there aren't several giant snakes just wandering around. Naruto demands the enemy retreat, lest he make her into snakeskin shoes. A good line.
It was so. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, I know. Also, weird that they have snakeskin shoes in this universe. Not something that I would have expected in the ninja world.
I don't know. I think I would have.
Well, I know that we say ninja but make it fashion, but I didn't know that they, as ninja, actually made it fashion.
Yes.
I mean, impressive.
The creator, his name was
Masashi Kishimoto.
Kishimoto. Like, he took inspiration from his real life and
Yeah.
stuff.
So everything he owns is snakeskin.
I could definitely see him rocking a pair.
He actually rests coiled around a tree.
Yeah, he does. No. Famously, he broke his leg so he could coil around a tree.
Snakeskin just sounds so weird to do because like, at first I actually know what it was. I thought it was like the shedding.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Oh,
thought,
yeah.
like,
It's
I
like,
thought
Yeah, it's in the
very
name.
obvious.
No, like I'm just thinking it's more like the shedding, and I thought people used constant snake shedding and made it into like
God,
material.
Disgusting.
And I just thought how crunchy and
It'd be
squishy
so,
that
yeah,
would be to
flaky.
wear.
Yeah.
That's just-
Crunchy and squishy.
That's
Yeah.
disturbing.
Those are
Those
very
two
opposites.
things shouldn't be together.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe in a candy bar, but not in a...
Crunchy and squishy.
Ah.
I don't know if I'd use the word squishy.
I guess you're right.
Yeah,
Well, a
Mike-
melted crunch bar. I've seen you eat more than a few melted crunch bars,
They're
Raj.
just
They're not
super
Or like
squishy,
a
dude.
caramel and like a Twix or something. That's
Ooh,
squishy.
That's actually a good point.
That's just like
Twix are
throw
crunchy
up
and
in your
squishy.
mouth, bro.
You
That's
don't
what
like
that
Twix?
feels. No, I love Twix, but like a melty Twix going down your
But
throat.
even-
No, but the caramel doesn't have to be melty.
Yeah, it's
already
still squishy.
That is true.
Again, I still don't know if I'd use the word squishy.
You wouldn't, but you could.
Yeah, I think
I
that
mean-
specifically for Twix, I think.
I could use lots of words, but I don't think I would.
Yeah. That's, well, I suppose.
It's not the first word that comes to
think-
mind.
I guess
Think
the
Twix.
Yeah,
but-
Emma would have used
Yes.
that.
I mean, Twix are just crusty and squishy.
Yeah. I love them, though, man.
Twix are great. Top
I love Twix.
3.
What is the correct way to eat a Twix?
What the fuck does
Oh, you
well,
guys
see,
eat it weird.
Yeah, I do it like, you know how
Yeah.
with a Kit Kat, sometimes people
fucking maniac?
eat them
You're
by
You
the
have
way.
to
I do it
bite.
with Twix,
You have to
too.
bite the caramel
Yeah.
off.
What's wrong with you?
I-
I
people?
tried it because of you
Liam and
guys.
I
It's
do it.
kind of not bad.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And then at the
That's-
end, you just have like a chocolatey cookie.
And it's so
Yeah.
good.
Hannibal definitely did that when he was
Oh
a kid,
yeah, no,
too.
it's definitely
And
an
that's
early
great.
sign of a murderer. But I'm just saying it's how I like to eat
I
my
mean,
Twix.
I am a Scorpio.
Ours, I'm sorry. Does that?
What does
Scorpios
that
are like
mean?
notoriously like they're supposed to be like masochists and crazy.
I feel like I hear that.
Even
Why
though
would
they're
you
not
write
the
that?
murderers. The murderers are Gemini,
I'm a Gemini, so.
Oh,
Virgo,
two murders.
and
Aquarius?
Maybe it might
That's
be
Raj.
Aquarius.
3 Musketeers.
Yeah, three
Fuck
musket
yeah.
murderers. Anyways, as Naruto says that he's going to make her into snakeskin shoes, Sasuke, frustrated that Naruto doesn't grasp the gravity of their situation, desperately tries to think of an out. Deactivating his Sharingan, Sasuke accepts that they have only one hope and offers their scroll to the opposing Genin.
This was fucked, man.
I just was like, huh?
Yeah, I know, it's Sasuke really
Yeah,
does
that
not
was
think
a
they can
lot.
win.
No, that's the thing. I in the last episode, I was constantly faked out by
Yeah.
just like I believed in them so much because I thought they could really do it, and
Yeah.
then this I was just okay. Side note, dude, your muscles, Jesus!
Oh, thank you.
I can't stop staring at them. They're bulging.
I
Yeah, I
appreciate
also
it.
noticed as we were
My favorite
recording.
thing to,
really not gonna lie, same.
Yeah.
that's great.
Like I wasn't even looking. I was just in my peripheral
Kinda
trying to just look
crazy.
around. And
I
I'm
was
just
looking
like,
around and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Wow, I'm gonna again edit that out and listen to it every night before I go to bed. But I'm sorry, you were saying about Sasuke and how he was giving up the scroll.
But like him pulling out the scroll and saying like, "This is it."
Yeah.
Powerful.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah.
That is-
Yeah.
It's so fucked. He really was like, "This is it."
Yeah, and
Nothing left.
Naruto, who would never give up, condemns his teammates' apparent cowardice, but the Grass Ninja celebrates his tactical thinking. And then,
Good dialogue here.
yeah, she's like, oh, it's smart. And then we see behind her a snake is attacking this nest with these two birds. And
So
the
it was
birds...
a normal sized snake at the beginning.
I think that it was the same snake from the beginning of
Yeah.
episode 27. Yeah. But it's
Meaning-
sort of like a visual allegory. We see this snake and these two birds sacrifice their eggs to survive, and the snake eats the eggs. But yeah, I think that was the snake you were
Yeah.
thinking of.
Yeah, it's not a giant snake and a giant bird.
Yeah, it was in fact a
A regular
Interesting.
sized
Snake and a
snake.
Interesting that instead of a regular sized snake and a regular sized bird, your first thought was, "Nah, must be giants."
Yeah.
In a world of ninja, I guess. Sasuke tosses over the scroll, but Naruto intercepts it midair, landing next to Sasuke. And the Uchiha tries to berate his friend for interfering, but Naruto punches him in the face.
Hardcore.
Oh, it's
Yeah. I
beautiful.
loved it.
It's
That was
poignant.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's epic.
I think I don't just. It's not even like a spoiler.
Sure.
This episode looked fucking awful.
I
think.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one scene of him just getting punched, I think that's where all of the budget really
Yeah.
went. Because that was such a beautifully played scene.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler to say this at all, but episode 29 looks pretty fucking ugly because
Yeah.
episode 30, and we'll get there when we
Yeah.
get there, but probably the best,
It's so beautiful.
maybe the best thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life.
So
But when we get there, we'll gush.
Yeah,
Don't
sorry.
worry.
So yeah, Naruto punches Sasuke. He tumbles onto a tree branch a short distance away, and Naruto declares that Sasuke must be an imposter. Sasuke's like,
Fuck.
bruh, no, I'm not. But Naruto's like, you have to be lying. The Sasuke I know would never surrender. My best friend is no coward.
shot.
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
he said that, and I was like, oh, fuck.
I know.
My guy
painful.
really said that.
And it's another example of him, like, because he loves Sasuke, even though they're like those rivals and
No,
shit.
no. They love each other.
Oh yeah, no, deeply
Yeah.
and
Like,
sexually.
The kiss?
Yeah, well,
Like Naruto's entire motivation of getting out of that snake was Sasuke.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
And then he
Yeah.
goes to see Sasuke. Sasuke was just his motivation to get out of this. He sees Sasuke, and the first thing Sasuke does is give up.
yeah.
Like, that's fucked,
Yeah,
you know?
that is
Really.
crazy. I didn't think
Yeah,
about it in
that's
that
fucked,
context.
Unwrapping herself from the branch, the Grass Ninja stands and pulls up her sleeve to reveal a strange tattoo, which, biting her finger, she smears blood down.
Yeah, it didn't really read as her biting her finger. I definitely
yeah.
thought she just licked
Me too.
her finger.
I was like, why was her
and
blood red?
or-
I mean,
and
her
her
spit.
was red because of her
Yeah.
long, weird tongue?
No,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
we've seen
I
this
was gonna ask
before
that.
because Kakashi needed blood to summon the dogs when he was fighting Zabuza.
Ah.
But people, they bite their finger, and last time that he put it on a scroll, but I guess Snake Girl puts it on a
That was a fun
tattoo.
little
Yeah.
dance you just
I
did.
hate that.
Well, it's nasty. Yeah.
gross.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to, because I used to know all the hand signs for
Yeah.
the summoning jutsu, and I would constantly try and bite my thumb hard enough to make it bleed.
Yeah.
I never succeeded. For
I'm
what
just
it's worth.
imagining like the sound. It's
Yeah.
just, no,
It
it's
doesn't
awful.
work, but
Hulu subtitles.
You said sound and it made me very uncomfortable.
Hulu subtitles,
why
yeah,
I'm
because
doing
when
that.
this person does it, like,
Yeah.
all they go is like, like, it's weird, but Hulu subtitles just reads as, ouch. And I was like, what the
well,
fuck?
it is an ouch.
Yeah.
But yeah, she smears the blood down the thing, and she's like, honestly, I don't even want the scroll. If I really wanted it, I would have killed you and taken it already. Naruto, successfully provoked, charges at her, kunai at the ready, and unleashes a summoning jutsu. The grass ninja does. And suddenly a third giant snake appears, which knocks Naruto out of the air.
The entire scene of the summoning jutsu was just so visually, like impactful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you could feel him
Had
just going like...
they like distorted the air around the grass
Yeah.
genin when the snake appeared. How many giant snakes do you have, by the
He
way?
just summons them, dude. He can have as many as he pleases.
Yeah, seriously. Then we cut to outside of the Forest of Death, by a row of Buddha statues near the village, where a squad of Chunin investigate a grisly murder scene, perplexed by the troubling situation before them. It's the 3 Grass Village ninja who are dead, their blood splattered across the figurines. What?
It really is no way to treat a Buddha.
But that's true. Yeah. I mean, this is a nasty murder, but come on, for Buddha?
The Buddha! No, but dude, the fact that there's a Buddha statue, that there's
Yeah.
more religion.
Yeah, I know.
That's just, it's crazy.
It is
It's just a fascinating little, more lore and world building.
Because I wouldn't have said Buddha if we had just seen it, because I would have
Yeah.
assumed that it was a Buddha-like thing in
Yeah.
the Naruto
Yeah.
world, but the
He did,
Chunin
he
literally
said-
does say, that's no way to treat a Buddha.
Yeah.
And
Just like that.
to be fair, it isn't.
Dude, what is his getup? Is that like a chin beat,
Oh, the
beard?
dudes, the
Yeah.
Chunin? Yeah, there's some hard-ass B character designs.
Like, what the fuck is any of that?
But yeah, the 3 Grass Ninja, one of whom is fighting our guys right now, are dead at
Yeah.
the same time. One of the Chunin hurries to Anko, who, sitting just beyond the forest's perimeter, devours dumplings and red bean soup on her break.
Nothing is more delicious. There's no better way to wash down
Than
a
a
dumpling
dumpling.
than with
Yeah,
sweet red
so
bean soup.
Anko has eaten enough dumplings, for reference, 53 sticks, to form a
yeah.
leaf village symbol out of their remnants in a nearby tree trunk. She's
How
like,
did you know there were 53?
well, I will tell you how I knew, because I had a fan data book when I was a kid. Because I owned
Wow.
everything you could ever own about anything Naruto ever, and
You're like an encyclopedia.
I was gonna say that. I didn't know if I should.
but we had somebody write in with little notes about the podcast, and they said I was like an encyclopedia on Naruto. But in the fan book, they did the math to find out how many calories would be in 53 sticks of dumplings and a
my
can of red bean
gosh.
soup. And for reference, it's 6,730,
Wow.
which Anko just ate on a break.
Dude, no, I guess if you're doing ninja shit, you'd be burning hella calories.
True, but we haven't seen her do anything yet.
That is true. But dude, at this point, I think, dude, I hate her voice acting.
Anko?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is I guess hate wouldn't be the right word.
Yeah.
Just this performance specifically was really rushed. It felt.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
That's
at
so
all.
funny. Honestly, I didn't even give it a second thought.
I think.
It felt
think
very
about it.
like me doing it. Like, just
That
like,
was a delicious
yeah,
dumpling.
like not real.
Yeah. Well, I think for a lot of these characters, they were still kind of deciding
Yeah,
how
I
to
think
do
this
the
is like
voice.
a phoned in one, and then they felt confident for the next
Oh
episode.
my! Well, we'll
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
episode 30. Upon his arrival, the Chunin informs Anko of the corpses, noting that there's something even more unusual about them than the fact that they're dead. Because he's like, "There's a murder scene. It's so unusual," and she's like, well, yeah, it's a murder scene. But he's like, no, there's something else weird. The two journey back to the Buddhist monument, and Anko is informed of the cadavers' identities. She notes the abnormal detail of their deaths. Their faces have been entirely removed as if their features were melted off.
Dude.
So what? Like this? Like that happened, and I was like,
I just
what
connected.
the hell?
It's like a whole ass mystery.
I love the design choice of never showing the face.
Yeah, I know.
And by design choice, you mean they didn't feel like animated?
Well, but
that was
yeah,
intentional.
because they've got the blood and shit, so it's just left up to your
You
imagination.
gotta imagine
like,
what it would look
what
like.
does it look
I
like
only
with their
saw the
faces
worst
torn
of it in my head.
Right? Yeah. And also, like, to have it be our guys are fighting one of the grass ninja, and then it just cuts
It's
away, and
just-
it's like, no,
yeah.
they're dead. This
Yeah.
is someone
Yeah.
else. That
That was
fucking
crazy.
terrifying.
And then also,
I
started noticing everything about that grass ninja's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what's
Yeah.
real?
And
What's
how
not?
like it wasn't animated. Like
Yeah.
I remember in the last episodes when we first met that
grass team.
yeah, her face.
Right.
It feels so like not.
Yeah, and now we
there.
realize that it was
Yeah.
intentional. Deeply disturbed Anko rubbing something on her trapezius. I looked it up. That's the area between your neck and your shoulder.
Did you look it up or did you just know that?
No, I
You're a
looked it
gym head.
I was gonna say I feel like you.
Well,
of all
famously
people would
with
just
the
know
muscles
that.
and all.
Yeah.
No.
Liam knows my body better than I do.
But no.
truthfully.
Aw.
Sounds so weird.
Not
So
even, just
sexual.
bros doing bro stuff.
Yeah, just guys being dudes.
Dudes being guys.
Yeah. Anyways, so she's rubbing something weird on her trapezius, and she recognizes the tragedy before her as the work of a specific ninja, though she can't understand why this mysterious guy would interfere in the tuning exams. Anka requests the ID photos of the 3 casualties, and recognizing the female grass ninja, wonders if she'd already been replaced when they did that tongue
That
thing with the
creepy,
kunai.
like,
That's so
Yeah.
terrifying.
I know. And just it's like a fucking Twilight Zone episode. Suddenly realizing that what you thought was the case isn't.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just nasty ass long tongue. Ugh. Visibly shaken, Anko commands the Chunin to relay the news to the Hokage and have the Anbu Black Ops deploy several squads to the Forest of Death.
I like that, like, it's such a, like, it really puts a lot of, like, fear into the viewer, because the whole, like, what you were saying, they find out these people are dead,
Yeah.
and now they're fighting, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And all we
Yeah.
hear is that it's a criminal.
Yeah.
And all they say is, go tell the third Hokage what's happened here. Like,
Yeah.
this is his calling card.
I know. Yeah, and we haven't, all we've seen the Hokage do really at all is goof off with Naruto.
Dude, he's just watching.
So this is like the
sexy
first
jutsu
time
and
that
shit.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, he's the most powerful ninja in the village, and we need his
Yeah.
help, which is scary.
Dude, imagine being like, imagine you're just walking down the street and you get mugged and you're like, oh fuck, dude. You can pull out your phone, Obama.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it's like. Obama
so
would know
funny.
some badass jutsu.
Dude, I love the idea of watching Obama beat someone's ass. Full suit and all with his voice. He's like, nah, I'm gonna beat like.
You better stand down.
No, dude,
Summoning jutsu. Joe Biden appears. Starts going on a rambling racist rant and just puts the enemy to sleep.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm not a huge fan of Joe Biden. Anyways,
no, but oh my god, that was so funny.
meanwhile, in the show, Anko plans to enter the forest and chase down this mysterious enemy herself.
This too, while like she started jumping in the forest
Yeah.
and watching the previous scenes where they're fighting, how fucking tall are these trees, or at least how high
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are? Like,
They're like way the fuck up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And we see later some of the roots are actually above ground, so these trees are massive.
yeah, dude, they're trees built on trees.
Yeah, well, it is the Hidden Leaf Village. They must have some badass
Well, this
trees
is
somewhere.
specifically the Forest of
Well,
Death.
sure, Training Zone
So-
44.
Yeah, so imagine the fucking. Imagine the fucking like crazy ninja gardeners they have to
Yeah.
make this shit.
You're actually probably right. There must be a crazy custodial staff
It's-
that takes
oh
care
my
of it.
gosh.
Probably Ibiki's like side hustle to
what
keep
if
them
they
sane.
have somebody that comes in and like feeds all the creatures that they've talked about?
Yeah.
Like
that's-
somebody's like, okay, gotta go feed the big snake.
Or the 3 tigers. There's tigers later. It doesn't matter. But
It
yeah.
does matter. It was so important.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't mean to spoil the
Gosh.
appearance of tigers.
Now, if you don't believe us, sounds wacky that they're tigers.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Within the forest, Naruto catches his breath as the grass ninja imposter taunts him. The giant snake swings its tail forth, knocking him down several branches and inflicting serious damage. All hope seems lost as Naruto plummets towards the enemy. This was weird spacing-wise, because it looked like Naruto was in front when the snake knocked him down, and then all of a sudden he was above the grass ninja
Yeah.
falling towards her.
I just think it's one of those like fast cuts.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Things like that is
Say
why I
those
can't
words
follow
again.
fight scenes.
Well, it was this episode. It looked like he was in front of the grass ninja. Then the snake whipped its tail. It looked like he fell down, but then he was
like flies
falling
through.
towards her.
Yeah, I think that's just like perspective.
No,
Yeah.
I think it was perspective because I think he was above them.
Okay,
'Cause
well, I mean, he
remember
must
when
have
he
been, I
first
guess.
came up, he was on a branch above them looking down at Sasuke.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I don't think he ever got off of that branch.
Yeah, it was just confusing choreography. Yeah, well, what can you do, I guess. Anyways, all hope seems lost as he plummets towards the enemy, but he opens his eyes to reveal that his irises have turned red and his pupils have become slits. Right. You guys have never seen this before, but he kicks the giant snake in the nose and launches a barrage of punches at the beast.
I'd never seen it, but I was watching it and I was like,
Yeah.
It's the Ninetales!
Yeah.
Leaping back, Naruto repels off a nearby tree and prepares another volley of blows, but the grass ninja really pretty lazily just blows forth a plume of flames.
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, it was just like just fire everywhere, and she knocks him down again. While Sakura and Sasuke are confounded by Naruto's sudden strength, the imposter villain seems to recognize that it's the Ninetales' power.
Dude, no, but Sakura, I think in general, in terms of what this episode lacks in animation, they make up in actual horror.
Yeah.
Because Sakura and just looking at Naruto beating the shit out of the snake and then just flopping was like, Naruto's going nuts or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
what was it? Yeah, he's gone nuts. Like,
Well, they've never, because when he went Ninetales last time, they were in the Haku's ice
yeah,
thing,
they didn't see it.
and Sasuke was presumably dead,
Yeah.
and Sakura was guarding Tazuna.
Penetrated.
Yes, he was penetrated many times, it's true.
Yeah.
If anyone's wondering.
But
Oh
but
my.
just her inflection, and I know we shit on Sakura a lot, but if she's good at anything, she's good at being dramatic, and
Oh
this
my
was
god.
good.
Yeah.
Just all of the sequences in both of these episodes
Where
were
she
so
calls
like,
out?
she's like,
Yeah.
what?
To be fair, these episodes are wacky as shit.
I
would
know,
be
but
calling
like
out as well.
it was
Yeah.
so like this was I feel like what Sakura is supposed to do is just be so
That's
dumbfounded
kind of
by
what she
everything.
does in every episode.
But it's never called for ever.
Well, sure.
Sakura plays like a self-appointed damsel in distress. Like she's like, I'll just like.
It kind of is
Yeah.
self-appointed,
Yeah.
though. You're
Yeah,
right.
because she's like
She just likes
bosses people around, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
With Naruto seemingly incapacitated by that plume of flames, the giant snake charges towards Sasuke, and all hope seems lost as we cut to Anko running through the forest, desperately hoping she isn't too late. Before Sasuke can be harmed, Naruto leaps back into the fight, throwing himself between the monster and his friend and stopping it in its tracks.
Dude, he did the Spider-Man 2 train.
He did, yeah. His
Yeah.
arms were out. And he stabbed like a kunai into the snake, and he was like, "No way!" And he's got his head down, all dramatic, like, right. He looks up at Sasuke and he asks if he's okay, calling him a scaredy cat. Which
Yeah.
for you two, when they got attacked by those claw dudes in the arc before you guys joined as co-hosts, Sasuke beat the shit out of the two claw guys, and Naruto froze up. And then he looks up at Naruto and he's like, "Are you okay, scaredy cat?"
I mean, they did a flashback right after he said it in
Sure.
this episode, so I kind of got that. But like,
yeah.
It's so strange, but that flashback was only like I think in Naruto time, a month. They look so
Yeah.
young.
I'm not sure actually how much time went by between the Land of Waves and the Chunin exams, because they definitely did a lot of missions. Because there was
Yeah.
that montage of them like walking
Yeah.
dogs and shit, and I think that was supposed to be emblematic of a decent amount of time passing.
Where because they're like Sasuke did not look as old as
No.
he does now.
Yeah, well, I think they are like a couple months older.
But even like, what's a
You
couple of
don't
months
look that
older mean?
different.
Like,
Bro, when you're in the ninja world, I mean,
true.
yeah, a
They
couple of
do eat
months of giant snakes and
It's like-
minefields.
6,000 calories as a snack.
Yes,
Yeah.
seriously. You're gonna change if you're eating that many fucking
Exactly.
dumplings. Before Naruto can launch into another diatribe on Sasuke's cowardice, the enemy ninja wraps her tongue around Naruto, lifting him out of the way like a fucking claw game. Acknowledging the power granted to Naruto by the Ninetales in times of turmoil, the villain lifts his shirt to reveal the seal that the fourth Hokage used to lock away the demon, which has become visible. It's that little spiral design, and we saw on him when he was a baby.
Little babby boy.
But I guess it's
Baby
invisible
boy.
except when its chakras looking out.
There's some fucking weird dialogue that this woman was like, "Oh, like a lot of damage arouses you."
Yeah.
It was just
Because the grass ninja talks like a terrifying murderer all the time.
no, but like 100%, dude. scared boner is like a theme here.
This is true.
It's true. It's
It's like this episode they definitely put like the snake thing. They're definitely going for like a more like hentai route.
No, it is. Yeah,
Oh.
the grass ninja is like weirdly
when
sexual.
she grabbed him with her tongue.
Well, sure. It looks
I was
very
like,
tentacular.
That looks like a tentacle.
Yeah.
Tentacular.
Tentacular.
Spectacular.
But yeah, so
Tentacular time.
she's looking at the seal on Naruto's stomach, and she inflicts her own additional 5-pronged seal on top of it.
That was, dude. That's again more animation went to that part there.
Oh yeah, no,
I
seriously.
felt that gut punch. I like recoiled myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
The tattoo-like marking on Naruto's stomach grows more intricate because intricate.
There you go.
That's a hard word to say in the middle of a
Intricate.
sentence. Intricate. It's an intricate word, frankly. Anyways,
Wow.
but like 5 more signs appear around it, and he cries out in pain.
There's a stop sign and a yield sign.
And Ninetales holding it inside of a belly sign. But
Ramen sign.
Oh, ramen.
Sakura calls out for Sasuke to help Naruto, but he's still frozen. Like he's just can't move.
He just can't move.
He's scared, man.
You just can't.
Naruto's eyes revert back to their original color and he passes out. His opponent considers that his chakra... This was an interesting little bit. His opponent was like, oh, his chakra is going to start combining with the Ninetales soon. Like, it was just sort of a dropped line, but it was like, oh, as he's gotten older, it seems that the Ninetales is helping him out in some way, which is an interesting thing.
That is
Yeah.
strange.
But that's kind of passed over quickly. She takes the Heaven Scroll out of his bag and then just throws him aside.
Yeah.
Yeets the fuck.
Yeah.
Poor little Naruto.
Yeah, and like you said, Raj, they're way the fuck up in the trees. And Sakura recognizes that if Naruto fell from this height, he would die.
Yeah.
So she
She did something.
Yeah, she really did. Like,
Yeah.
big time. She threw a kunai at Naruto falling, and it hit his jacket and pinned him to a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, literally, he would have died.
Dude, those kunais must be like hella nice because they're carrying a whole ass kid, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, and also they use them for literally everything.
Literally. And the amount of force they could launch them at with such swift movements.
Yeah, I know.
That has to be
Well,
crazy.
I think pretty much everyone in this world is jacked as shit.
Yeah,
You just
like-
don't see it in the animation. But, like, they
See the
all must
veins
be
protruding.
Yeah, for real. Sakura can like bench press 1,000 pounds. She's standing there like a fucking bodybuilder.
I don't think-
Sasuke!
I'd be surprised. Have you
Williamson.
seen that forehead?
Oh my gosh.
Yo, her forehead is all muscle.
Yeah.
Block of muscle up there.
Oh my gosh.
Sakura has a 6-pack on her forehead. Yeah. But she after pinning Naruto to the tree, she scolds Sasuke for being even more useless than her. Furthermore, she concedes that for all of his shortcomings, at least Naruto would never give in to cowardice.
This scene was strange, I think, because on one hand, she attempted to do what Naruto was doing to Sasuke.
Yeah.
But it was more so. You really recognize just how useless she really is. She can't do anything. I'm not saying that in a way like, oh, you know, she's useless. No.
Right.
She's so fucked right now that he, like she needs Sasuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more than that, we've just had an episode of Naruto with the Ninetales on, Sakura helping out, and Sasuke being completely useless. Like,
Character.
Well,
Weird.
not just yeah, like what a wacky ass situation to put our people in, you know? Sasuke closes his eyes and remembers his older brother, the other Uchiha.
This
Oh,
is
I
dude.
hated it.
Yeah.
I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, I shouldn't be watching this. It was a personal moment.
Dude, the
Oh
way
my
he was
gosh.
saying it too, and it was all really fast. Like, you will never be as good. There's not enough hate.
Yeah, I know.
He said, "Yeah, your life is too precious to you." That was
Yeah.
a really
So
interesting line.
we don't know what happened to the Uchiha. We don't know why it's just Sasuke and his brother alive. All we know is that the one person, Sasuke's only goal in life is to kill his older brother.
Yeah.
And so now
wait,
we see, yeah.
Do you remember the last line in the brother rant? He's like, you don't have enough hate.
Yeah.
Hulu subtitles changed hate to heat. You don't have enough heat, bro.
Which is funny
Well,
because he
yep.
breathes fire all the time. How much more heat could he possibly need? Also, he's hot as fuck, so. But yeah, so his older brother, he remembers him calling him a coward, mocking him lack of strength, lack of hatred,
Yeah.
lack of resolve to be able to kill him. Motivated by the memory, Sasuke opens his eyes with a defiant yell, the Sharingan reactivated.
That sound clip, so nice.
Yeah.
So.
And the enemy ninja, releasing the summon of the snake, so it's no more giant snake, celebrates being able to battle an Uchiha whose blood is at full boil.
Trophy hunting motherfucker.
Yeah, plenty of heat, clearly, if his blood's boiling. But yeah, that's the end of episode 29. It's a slow episode.
Definitely. The animation did lack a lot. But
Yeah.
the dialogue, like, this is, in contrast to the last few episodes where they're building up to, like, subtle fear, like, oh no, you're gonna get ambushed by ninjas.
Yeah.
This is terror.
Yeah, but I think, and obviously we're going to get into it next, but it's really, really clear that they got a list of things that they needed to cover before episode 30, which is the pinnacle of Naruto. Best episode that we've seen by far. But I think it's pretty clear that they were stretching the material that they had so that episode 30 could be everything, you know?
I really liked 29. Because I feel like, while, yes, it was a lot of them being like, well, this is a thing that's happening, and we're going to show you it for way too long, even though we know you understand.
Yeah, a lot of lingering camera.
I feel like it was kind of necessary because of how intense
30 is?
30 is.
Yeah.
You kind of need that, like, okay, we've been staring at Naruto with his eyebrow twitching for, like, 3 seconds, maybe cut to something else.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the only shame is there's some badass moments in 29.
Yeah.
Like when Naruto stands between the snake.
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy.
So cool. And I wish that the animation from 30 could have been in 29. But we've hyped up episode 29 enough.
Yeah, to quickly transition to episode 30. Every time Liam talks about these animation studios and shit, I'm not someone who really looks at anime. Like one of my favorite games is like Terraria. That's like pixelated 2D nonsense. But fucking episode 30 is when I really realized, oh, there were some ugly fucking episodes.
Yeah, really.
So, because 30 is just crisp.
Well, I'm going to do this thing while we talk about episode 30, because I don't know any other way to say it on a podcast, but I've just written, oh my god, this episode is pretty, whenever I was watching it, and I thought that, because, oh my god, this episode is pretty.
That's my first
really
note.
is.
Like, opening up second.
Obviously, we've been talking about this whole episode,
Yeah.
but episode 30 starts with a little recap of 29, but it's reanimated, and it looks like a movie.
It deadass does.
Like, it's so slick. The lighting is incredible. The framing is incredible.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's like another show. Like, if you listen to this podcast and you're like, I don't know, someone that I know or someone that one of these guys know, and you don't watch Naruto and you listen along, which is great, by the way. Like, I love that. But watch episode 30.
It kind of looks like... Oh, okay, wait, actually, are you like someone should just jump into episode
Honestly,
30?
why not? 30?
Dude.
I mean, I
Let's
know.
hear it. Listen.
Well, I don't know if we talked about this before on the podcast, but Raj and I, the only thing that we disagree on enough to fight is that Raj thinks that you can show people an episode in the middle of a show, like to get them into it, you know?
Yeah, just like to throw in a random episode.
I insist. No, start with episode 1. Just they need the context.
Yeah, and it's been an internal debate that haunts us dearly.
But I'm saying, man, episode 30 is leagues
That's
above.
a W for my side.
That is a W for your side.
Next time he brings up the argument, I'm gonna hit him with this cold hard
Episode
fact.
30, bitch.
30.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like you should start from episode 1, even though
I agree, yeah.
Naruto we're jumping on
half
in the
of
middle.
the co-hosts on this podcast didn't.
Well, not
Yeah,
everybody gets a
but
special
I feel like-
recap episode, which you can listen to at www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod.
Imagine watching episode 7, where you have all of us, and then episode 8, it's just you, Emma, and Miley Flanagan, and then episode 9, where it's 2 whole other ass people.
I think it's probably a lot of fun trying to figure out what's going on.
Roulette, man. That's crazy.
But yeah, episode 30, absolutely
So
gorgeous. Opens up. Ashamed that up until this point, all he's cared about has been surviving long enough to defeat his brother, Sasuke clasps a kunai between his teeth and charges at the grass ninja imposter, weaving through the air. Like, the movement is so fluid, I cannot capture it in an outline. But Sasuke unleashes a bevy of easily blocked shuriken at his opponent before bouncing off a tree and into a barrage of melee attacks, which are, again, easily defended against. But it looks like fucking ballet.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Flipping away, the enemy pursues Sasuke, and the two enter just a gorgeously animated bout of taijutsu, which is hand-to-hand combat. Though Sasuke is eventually able to knock the grass ninja away. Seizing upon the opportunity of their separation, the enemy runs at supersonic speed around Sasuke, wrapping around the branches, like weaving in and out. But Sasuke is able to follow the movement by using his Sharingan, dodging this, like, the Grass Genin shoots up and then slams down, and he's able to dodge it.
Which was so... Ugh.
Yeah, it's badass.
Dude, fucking... They've already taken the Spider-Man 2 train scene.
Sure.
Now you got Sasuke here just swinging around, dude.
Oh yeah, we're not quite there yet, but you're right.
This is crazy.
He dodges the heavy strike and he counters with 2 bursts of fire breath, which is a badass.
Yep.
A lot of heat there.
Yeah.
I want to breathe fire.
I know, right?
I don't know how that would feel. Imagine, like, you feel, like, internally you have to feel, like, 300 degrees, but you get to shoot fire.
I bet it feels like, you know that thing where you, like, throw up just a little bit?
Oh my god. But imagine, like, it's a thing, and you can control it, but sometimes it just happens, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh god.
So it's kind of freeze out, it's on fire.
Sorry, babe, it's the flamethrower in my stomach.
Oh my god.
Still, though, the Grass Ninja persists, burrowing into the branch on which they stand to strike up at Sasuke, who jumps into the air at the last second before landing to catch his breath. The Grass Ninja can't help but recognize the prowess of the Sharingan and Sasuke's ability to keep up with her movements. Elsewhere, Anko continues her pursuit of the murderer, confounded by what his purpose could be and determined to finish whatever mysterious feud she has with him.
Yeah.
Again, I wrote at this point, oh my god, this episode's pretty.
So pretty.
I mean, I wonder what it was at this point. It must have been Anko, I think it was sunset or something, and it was just the lighting.
The purple and the red. What the fuck was that, and why? We need more of that.
It's a whole nother
I think
level.
that part was when, I think it might have been when she was running, and then it was just, like, all the greens. And then my, like, little heart was just like, oh, colors.
Yeah. No,
it's
absurdly
like,
beautiful.
This is the Forest of Death, but it's so beautiful.
Because it's
in
still a
this
forest.
episode.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I just don't get where that comes from. There's just no reason for her to be thrown behind the most surreal, abstract mixtures of purple and blue and red.
I'm sure there's a ton of fucking metaphors behind that shit. You know
that was fantastic.
Yeah.
I want to, like, watch more of that.
No, it's incredible. Back with Team 7, the Grass Ninja destroys the branch on which they stand, but Sasuke, diving down from an aerial dodge, manages to secure his opponent in a fucking pile driver. Yeah, and the two plummet several stories down, the Grass Ninja hitting her head hard.
Dude, that made me cringe so
and then
bad.
her legs just flop to the side.
If anybody has ever done anything or, like, jumped into a pool
Have you ever gone pile
and
driven
then
before?
hit their head on the bottom of the pool, I felt that. I felt it go from the top of my head down to my toes when she landed, and I was like, ugh.
Well, and you see it too because the animation is so good. It, like,
He, like, pulsates, yeah.
Dude,
devastating.
Were you able to follow this fight pretty well, Katie?
Yeah, decently, yeah.
I mean, it is just one-on-one, like you said, was easier. But I'm just wondering because this episode was just all fights.
I just usually can't tell where they are ever, which is why when we were saying about, like, Naruto and the different perspectives,
it is
like,
kind of hard.
did not notice that at all.
That's actually fantastic because jumping to a different anime, Dragon Ball Z.
Sure.
During the...
Which I've never seen, but okay.
I'm explaining it. So during the Frieza saga, the fun thing is Liam hasn't seen Dragon Ball Z, but he knows Dragon Quest.
I do.
That's how he knows Toriyama's
Yeah,
work.
it really is. So there's for you two, there's these Dragon Ball obviously is like the most popular anime of all time, but the creator made a video game series called Dragon Quest, which is he did the art for it, and that's largely why it's like one of the most popular game series of all time. Yeah. But the thing is, it's popular because of Dragon Ball. Yeah. But I never watched Dragon Ball. I only know Dragon Quest, which is like backwards as fuck, especially for a guy running an anime podcast.
But
we each get to where we're going. We just take different roads.
Through different paths.
But to paraphrase it quick, so during the Frieza saga, at one point, two characters were fighting. Yeah. And it was just like they have like an honor code system, so there'd be just 12 dudes posted up while two of them are just fighting. Okay, weird. And, and Goku's son Gohan, who's just like a little fighter, he hasn't really done anything yet, and Krillin, the bald kid, he's just... Gohan has no idea what's happening. All you see are like little black squiggles just like all around, like similar to what's happening in this episode. It's just do, and then like, and Gohan's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And Krillin's like, you can't see it with your eyes yet, but they are going at it.
And that's the thing. I think with most Naruto episodes, that's what it is like. It's like really still animation.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we can't animate it, but trust us, this is supposed to look cool.
Instead, I just commented. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but Krillin is like, you can't see it.
No, I know
at
what
such
you're
a
saying.
fast level.
And that's kind of a famously joked about thing in anime, that it's like, wow, what an incredible power source. Sure, to us, it looks like they're standing still. But
Yu Hakusho. It's an old ass anime, but the main gimmick was this guy. He existed between two worlds, the living and the dead, and he had one power called the spirit gun.
Sure.
And he could use like once a day. If he used it in the realm of the dead, it's like a fucking hyper beam. And using the world of living, it like stops the person, like just freezes them.
Yeah,
and
it saves on animation,
he
bro.
uses that gimmick so many times. He's like, oh, my favorite episode. He comes in and everyone accuses him of stealing everything. So he's just like looking around and he just goes, oh, there's a shifty looking motherfucker right there. Sure. Just like the goofiest drawn kid in class.
And he
Spirit guns. Yep. Just pew, and then just goes in. He's like, oh, there it is. Everyone's belongings in his pocket.
Yeah, but I guess the only point is in this episode they don't do that at all. They really animate it all.
It was so good.
So Sasuke hops away from his pile-driven victim, but it's revealed that the enemy used a substitution, and they're
Have we seen that before? A
Substitution?
substitution? Because that was in this episode a lot, I think. Was it? More than once?
We did.
Have you guys seen Substitution?
Yeah.
Because I just was like, so she just like, was that mud?
Yeah,
like,
well,
was she
see,
just
here's the
make
thing.
her out of mud?
In the Land of Waves arc, all the fucking time, you would see an attack, it would look like it would kill someone, and then they would transform into a log.
In some cases,
Okay, so it is
snow
mud.
bunny.
Yeah.
Like it is just like something around
Yeah,
that just became.
The way it's explained when it's introduced is that a ninja can swap out something in their surroundings. It's always a log. We joked a lot about why the fuck do they have so many logs on them.
There's a bridge and water.
I feel like Naruto did a substitution.
Oh, he did. Yeah, when the guy that Iruka was disguised
like
as.
hay.
Yeah, he swapped out a straw dummy for Moegi when that dude that.
No, but that was like stupid comic.
It was.
It was, but it was a substitution.
Okay, and normally it's just like a tree branch, but that like he just like
right. But generally ninja are able to, and it is like it doesn't actually make logical sense, but the way they explain it logically is that the ninja can swap themselves out for something else really quickly, and then you don't notice.
Okay.
And it's like it's animated as still them, but this one, instead of a tree branch or log or whatever, it melts into mud.
It's mud, yeah.
Really graphically, it like pours down. Leaping off the branch, Sasuke uses a handful of wire. This is the Spider-Man moment to swing around the tree's massive
trunk. It made me feel like we're playing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, really.
That's crazy.
He swings around and lands on another tree branch, only to be immediately assaulted by his foe, who catches him off guard and manages to knock him to the ground.
The wire burned the tree. They like really showed, like they flexed a little there. Like we don't have to show this, but look at this shit.
Yeah, I love
so
the movement. Oh my god, this episode is so pretty.
Yeah.
Sakura cries out as the villain ridicules Sasuke, calling him a disappointment to the Uchiha name. Too soon, bro.
Yeah,
whole clan's dead.
There's a whole brother he has to kill.
Yeah. But Sasuke has affixed bombs to the enemy's back. Bombs that had little eyeballs. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
It was cute as shit.
I was looking and I was like, is that a soot sprite?
Yeah, it did.
A ghost?
Yeah, it looks like the motherfucker's in Spirited Away.
Yeah. Dude, I just thought it was like a fucking fashion choice. Like I was like, dude, you got bells on that bitch? Crazy.
Honestly, the Grass Ninja would wear that shit. But yeah, the bombs detonate and Sasuke leaps away, having exaggerated the seriousness of his injury, and he was faking when he was lying on the ground. And then he fires a drove of shuriken with wires affixed to them towards his opponent. Sasuke guides the weapons using the wires so that they restrain his enemy against a tree trunk before unleashing his dragon flame jutsu, the flames of which rocket down the wires and engulf the grass ninja, gruesomely burning her alive.
It's notable that they finally that he used that jutsu because that was the fucking title of the episode, I think.
Oh, this episode title, I think Sasuke
said it, exactly, yeah.
Usually I don't notice the titles, but it was like, it's me, Sasuke.
Yuri Lowenthal here.
Yeah.
The blow. Dude, the VAs were fantastic this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they really got him in the studio like our current
I wrote it in my end of episode notes, but everything about this episode is higher quality.
So good.
The voice acting, the animation, like the pacing, lighting, everything is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this burning her alive scene was...
that was
hardcore.
Crazy. Like, she was like...
sounds like it's obviously jarring there was a video a long time ago that came
Yeah.
out of an actual human being.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it was during like the whole like ISIS scare, which is still happening, but
Sure, it's still scary.
But it was like when it first started happening, there was a video of like an actual human being like burned alive.
Bro, ISIS
And I watched it.
videos are fucked.
The way that they animated it,
It was like ISIS.
they managed to make me feel how I felt when I watched that without showing a human being burning.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
The
it's
noises,
sounds too. Yeah, exactly.
And the fact
like,
that you're like, oh my
screeching.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
and her eyes like bulging out of her head and just unpleasant.
A lot of pulsating this episode.
Yeah. Sasuke slumps over, exhausted, and Sakura runs to his side, celebrating his victory. The grass ninja, however, has other plans. As the blaze dies down, she walks forth, breaking the wires affixing her to the charred tree, and her bloodlust once again cripples Sakura, though Sasuke is able to remain standing this time. While congratulating Sasuke on his mastery of the Sharingan, we see that the grass ninja's skin is melting, revealing a hint of a different face underneath. Yeah, and her voice changes to be much deeper and more sinister.
Yeah.
So creepy.
This VA.
Yeah.
My god, dude. This is a villain.
Yeah, she or he or whatever threat we're dealing with right now eggs Sasuke on, saying that his eyes may be even keener than Itachi's, which I think might be the first time we've heard Sasuke's brother's name.
Yeah.
Itachi Uchiha.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who
Uchiha.
was
Like, I don't
that?
know.
Yeah, that's him, the
I was
mystery
just
of
kinda
other
pretending.
Uchiha.
Wow.
Itachi. Ooh. Sasuke demands to know what the ninja wants, but Orochimaru, whose stolen face continues to drip off of his own to reveal his snake-like eye and Sound Village headband, refuses to tell him.
Bro, he's such a handsome guy.
Orochimaru?
Yeah,
He-
dude, this is Chad.
Yeah,
This is Chad.
he's got nice makeup on and everything.
Yeah.
He's got the purple wings.
And I think now that he has a musical fucking
Yeah,
on
yeah.
his- I thought that's why the bells were there.
For the Sound Village.
I thought I was like pre-hindsight.
Yeah, they all accessorize with little musical. The little furry guy has his xylophone on his back underneath the thing.
So every time they walk, that's their whole gimmick. Every time they like frog
Makes
leap
it-
through
makes a
trees,
little
like
sound. Yeah.
it's like
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
I like the idea that one of the sound ninja of the three probably carries around like a clarinet.
Just jumping through with it.
Yeah. We have to hunt down Sasuke. Lay me down some flute and a little bit of tuba.
Bring in the drums.
They don't call us the Sound Village for nothing, man.
It would sound like that.
Bust out some smooth jazz.
Just
Oh
slicked
my
up hair,
gosh.
dude. They all look like they're from fucking Greece.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Orochimaru burns the Heaven Scroll and insists that they will not meet again until after this current section of the test. Furthermore, he instructs Sasuke to defeat those three Sound Ninja, the squad of Genin, revealing that they are working for him.
Wait,
what's
actually,
up? Yeah.
If they were working for him,
Yeah.
and this dude found them first, they're so getting fired.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this is like the whole thing was to get them.
Yeah.
You had one job.
One job, guys.
And I had to come in. I had to steal somebody's fucking face to do this.
Melted, guys.
I
melted.
bought you new clarinets and everything. You can't do this one
I shined
fucking
your
job.
tuba for you. My tongue, have you seen it?
Have you seen it? Whoa.
Have you felt it?
But that would be crazy. Imagine if the tongue turned into a clarinet.
Or, well, I mean, I imagine you can play a mean reed instrument with a tongue like that.
No, dude, no. He would do string,
it'd
bro, all tongue, like a harp, like a harp,
God,
bro.
no.
Like whip, like.
Ew.
Imagine rubbing your tongue against the strings of a stringed instrument.
That'd be crazy.
Yes, that's right.
That shit's all vibration.
That is a horrible thought.
Yeah, that's
Or he'd be like a
awful.
great gong player.
Oh,
Just,
but you know what you could do?
my God.
Straighten out the tongue like really far and like
Yeah.
really taut. And then, you know when you like pull a rubber band? Yeah, Orochimaru could play the tongue.
Is the string?
Yeah.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Well, it's because you haven't heard it yet. It's beautiful music.
Oh.
the emoji rarus.
Oh,
Orochi.
Can you make a band name out of Orochimaru?
Orochimaru and the
I don't think
and
I
the
could even
six
just say
snake.
the name normally.
Fair enough.
What's a number that starts with the letter B? Is there a B number anywhere?
11?
Orochimaru.
Wait, actually,
11 snake
Billion?
bitches.
Oh, billion.
Billion. I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. Wait, is billion spelled with a billion letters?
No, it'd be
B-I-L-L-I-O.
Oh my God.
It's,
Imagine if it was.
I know.
B-I-L-L-L-L-L-L.
Continuing on a billion times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a little less because of the
I was gonna
I-O-N.
keep going.
I'm
but
so
that's
shit
fine.
at math, but the one thing I like learned to do when we got into like decimals and shit was if a number repeats, you could just put the bar on top.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
That was the one rule I knew. So every time I felt like not so confident in my answer, I would just go put the bar on top. It's like adding a little bit of salt to your
Raj,
burnt meat.
This simply isn't the answer. No, it continues on. It would have
some
been.
point,
I just didn't have the time.
Oh my gosh.
Raj, it's not a decimal. Yeah, the bar it goes back around to
There's
whole
a bunch
numbers.
of.
The answer was X.
It'll get there. It'll form one.
Eventually, numbers turn into letters. Everyone knows that at a certain point. Anyways, Sakura insists that the enemy leave and never return, but Orochimaru is certain that Sasuke will seek him out again. Suddenly, Orochimaru's neck hyperextends, like his.
I hated it.
Yeah, it's weird
I
as
hated
shit.
it so
That was
much.
awful.
Terrifying, bro. Just launches.
Yeah, it flies towards Sasuke, biting down vampirically.
Yeah, like there are vampires
It's
in
like,
the show.
it's like
beside
that
it?
Undertale dog. Like the it's
I've never played Undertale, but I believe you.
Yeah, it's a whole dog that just like he's a little. Imagine okay, Morgan has a dog and so does Katie. So just for perspective, imagine your little cute doggy just sitting there, and then his neck just goes woo.
Oh God!
And then just towards
Why?
you. I hate that.
Okay,
Why?
I'm not gonna
Why?
lie. If it was my dog, I wouldn't mind. But the fact that it was this motherfucker, kind of hated
Yeah,
it.
seriously.
Like
It
if
looks like
my
a
little
Pez
dog
dispenser.
just like her neck just like came to me and she like licked me on the face, I'd be like, oh hello.
Actually, that might be kind of cute. I'm picturing it now.
Oh my
It
god,
might
can
be
you imagine
cute,
if
but
it
I'd
was
still
my
be like, what the fuck?
imagine if it was my dachshund.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, it
I'm just
might be kind
picturing
of cute.
that. But
But
people still
Orochimaru
freak
doesn't.
out.
Dude, but the way he stretches out his neck, he loses all the deep. It becomes like white almost.
Yeah.
Like when you stretch something out. Also, that made me think. What if you take away details of characters? You ever see Lee? Like imagine Lee, but you take away his hair, his eyebrows, everything. He's just like one long sausage.
Oh my gosh.
With two big, beautiful eyes.
Huge, beautiful eyes.
But you can't take away his bushy eyebrows. That's his defining
No, that's like
characteristic.
the one thing you would leave to define
I
like
don't think
Yeah.
you
the
can get
sausage.
rid of them. I think
His
if you
eyebrows?
tried, they'd just
No,
stay.
no. If you shave them off, they grow back bushier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep shaving them, his whole head is just eyebrows.
Yeah. But after biting Sasuke, Orochimaru's neck retracts back onto his body. And when I said that Orochimaru bit down vampirically, I
Yeah.
really meant it because there
Yeah.
are two fucking vampire
Huge
holes.
holes.
Which, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then further up on Sasuke's neck, this mark suddenly appears. It's
Yeah.
like 3 commas sort of
In a circle.
Looked
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I suddenly just don't remember what I was gonna say. But
It's like
so
a
let's go
little
with that. Yeah.
fire.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
thing.
I don't know. It's anyways, it's a weird mark and Sasuke grasps it in like immense pain,
Yeah.
calling out and falling to his
Yeah.
knees.
Just okay. So this is like a major like nice fucking job to all of the voice actors
Oh.
that had to
Yeah.
be in pain.
Okay.
I
'Cause they
fucking
were
felt that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I already said it in this, not in the recap, but everybody did such a phenomenal job this episode. Specifically, the girl when she was burning alive,
Yeah.
and Yuri Lowenthal, the voice actor of Sasuke, when he was screaming about this.
Like
Yeah. 'cause,
Deeply
like,
unsettling.
It's hard to imagine they're just sitting in the
If-
studio not actually in pain and making
exactly
that noise. You
like
know?
that's like obviously anybody can be like fucking Sakura and just be like ah no,
Right.
But
to-
like
but to
be
scream,
in pain,
Yeah.
but literally just be standing in front of a microphone being like
You know what I bet it is? Like anime.
they actually bite them. Burn them.
Probably.
Possibly, but anime episodes also have to be directed. You know, like there's still a director, and I wonder if it's the same director on every episode or if they have a rotating cast. In which case, I wonder if there was just a phenomenal director on this episode.
We go to different
Interesting.
animation studios, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if there might be one vocal director.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they just got inspired and bit Yuri Lowenthal. Yuri, I know this might seem not traditional, but
Get over here.
She doesn't even get over.
Come here, baby.
I'm not coming over there. Fine, I'll come to you. And they try to stretch their neck.
Get in character. He's like, what are you doing? Read the next line, Yuri. I'm about to go in.
Look at me, Yuri. I am Orochimaru. Desperately pulling at their head. No, Sasuke falls to his knees, and it is a terrifying scream.
Oof.
Orochimaru retreats, mysteriously calling the mark on Sasuke's neck a parting gift, and promising that Sasuke will seek him out for his power while laughing maniacally. Yeah.
Sakura was even like, even if we see you soon, it wouldn't be soon enough or some shit.
Yeah. Well, she was like, if we never see you again, it'll be too soon.
Yeah.
That shit is... And then Orochimaru's like, no, he's gonna want to see me.
So much like creepy ass foreshadowing and shit. Sasuke continues to wail in agony, and it is agonizing.
This
the whole episode.
I felt so bad.
But this little bit,
it hurts. Well, and while he's yelling, Sakura tries desperately to comfort him, cradling him in her arms, and that was like, I was feeling for Sakura.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
She calls out to Naruto as she begins to cry, but not like usually it's like a baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
But I mean, she had a reason now.
This moment, I remember like thinking it. I was like, this is what her brain is.
Yeah.
Every time she says something bitchy or is complaining about something,
it's like this is the moment she imagines it is.
Yeah.
But now she's living it.
Now she's living it. And the
fun.
fact that she's not, like, it, obviously she was, like
she's actually being pretty strong.
But she didn't, like, there was nothing about her, and at like, the end of the episode, it becomes more clear, but she didn't, like, just shut down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But she's just pleading for assistance, though there is none. Nobody there.
Naruto's fucking into a
they're
tree.
alone in the forest of death, and now she doesn't even have her teammates.
Yeah.
And then I wrote again, oh my god, this episode's
stuck
pretty.
in the shadow of the forest of death.
Yeah.
Take a look at my
life.
Yeah.
Been spending most of my life.
Have you ever read the actual poem? Have you ever read the actual poem that's based off of?
No.
Have you ever seen the photograph that the poem is based off of?
I have seen the trailer for the live-action Sonic movie.
Okay.
Wait, did they use Gangster's Paradise in that?
Yeah.
They did. Fuck. That's dude. Who made Gangster's Paradise?
Coolio.
Dude,
Who made the poem?
Coolio really said I needed
Great
some
question,
money.
but I just learned about it in one of my
But
classes.
it's a good ass song, man. I don't
like the poem is really beautiful. The picture that it's based off of was taken, I believe, either might have been during the Civil War or might have been during
Gangster's
a different war.
Paradise was a picture.
Well, it's the poem.
The poem that Gangster's Paradise was based off of. That poem was based off of a photograph.
That's crazy.
Okay. But,
anyways, yes. Sorry.
Fucking, I didn't really get into Gangster's Paradise until like I got into Weird Al at first.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then I was dude, Amish Paradise was the hardest shit for
that
so long.
Slap.
Yeah.
Weird Al. Okay, I was the kid who was like stupid into parodies back in like 2012.
I still am.
Gosh.
Like, dude, fucking Key of Awesome was.
The Key of Awesome.
That shit is
so
so Barely Political were classic motherfuckers. And then Weird Al and like Brock Baker and all those fuckers.
Whoa. You just said that and I just like got thrown into me when I was like 12.
Dude, dead ass. Shit was insane. Like, it got to the point where I didn't even recognize them as parodies. Like, I would listen to the Key of Awesome's parody of Owl City and I was like, where do I find more of these guys?
Yeah. Owl City who? But, yeah, I mean, parody songs are fun. Being Alone in the Forest of Death is not
so fun.
No.
Yeah. That night, Orochimaru materializes elsewhere in the forest, and Anko, sensing his presence, runs towards him with a newfound purpose. And I do want to say, I mean, we've been talking about how great the voice acting has been this episode. Anko is significantly better in this episode.
Way better,
yeah.
I really did not know her name
Because she has a
until
purpose.
all of a sudden, like, around this scene, and I really thought they were calling her Uncle, and I was like, she does not look like an uncle.
No. Actually, for another Hulu subtitle thing, I have
her
proof.
Uncle?
It won't work, Uncle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I thought it said Uncle.
is-
I was like, she just does not look like his
Well,
uncle.
it's funny because it definitely didn't say uncle, but Hulu's just not.
But they're
Raj
drunk.
Yeah, Raj has video, has
have
picture
photo
proof.
Yeah.
Put it in the Discord.
I will put it in the Discord. Pay money to see it.
Yeah, if you want to be part of our fantastic Discord, just pledge $2 or more per month at our Patreon, www.patreon.com/NaruTalk.
Believe it.
It's a hopping Discord.
It is. It's a fun time.
I would.
You have a crazy cast of characters.
We do. Dave,
You're the best.
Nina.
Patrick.
the ones Patrick, John,
Hunter,
Glenn.
Glenn 2.
Glenn
Glenn's
has
did it
2.
twice.
Yeah. Anyways, the point is, patronize. You good.
It's a fun time.
Anyone who we forgot, anyone who joins in the future.
You get to
or
talk to
in
us
the past.
real time.
We love you
like
too.
right
Yeah.
now. You could be talking to us right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking right now.
Yeah.
We're talking with the NaruTalkers. What am I
You
saying?
get live messages while we record an episode when I'm like zoning off into my phone. You get to be in the Discord.
Wait, have you really been in the Discord?
I've been scrolling around.
That's so funny. Anko
There's
arrives.
so many big bugs in this room.
Yeah,
It's
they're
alright,
all
it's
dead and
alright.
squished
Are
in
we in
random
the
spots.
forest of death?
Maybe we are. Speaking of being in the forest of death, Anko arrives at Orochimaru to find him, and I loved the way this looked.
Yeah.
Orochimaru's like half fused with a tree trunk.
Yeah, I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
It looks like
Weird.
fucking what movie is that? Minority Report or something? Where they're like half in the thing that's all white fluid.
One of my classmates
Dude,
made a
wait,
painting
I-
just like that
Yeah.
last year.
Dude, Minority Report, dude, that's such a... Okay, I never really had money as a kid,
Sure.
so when I got, I was really into the GameCube, and I would always just get hand-me-downs from cousins and shit.
Sure.
I've never seen the movie Minority Report, but I had the game. And I was so ass at it, but I had a cheat code that let me unlock everything.
Oh, that's
so
good.
I was just running through the story, not paying attention, because you could do so much in the game Minority Report.
Does this visual ring any bells from the video game?
Yeah, in a way. I've only seen the trailer of the movie, so if it was in the trailer...
It might have been in the trailer, because I've never seen the movie either.
Where
so-
I'm thinking
Oh
more
my
episode... Was it 5 where Han gets put into the shit?
What are you talking about? Oh, Star Wars?
Yeah.
In the Carbonite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Oh.
We're just talking about things that it looked like.
Well,
Yeah.
it did look like a scene in, I believe it was John Wick 2.
Oh, I've also never seen.
There's just a woman in a bathtub, and she was just kind of like half floating, and that just, I was like, oh, that's funny.
Top 3 scenes of women in bathtubs in movies go. Number 1, Neon
Orochimaru
Demon.
in the true. Oh. Don't say Neon Demon. That movie sucks.
It did suck, but it looks so pretty.
I don't know.
Watch it.
Famously
Dude,
hate Neon Demon.
Mac Miller said, watching movies with the sound off. And you gotta do it for Neon Demon.
Yeah, but you can watch good movies with the sound off.
Well, yeah, but you can also just watch movies with the sound off.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Neon Demon's a slog. Doesn't matter. Not Naruto. The point is.
Naruto with like little abbreviation Neon Demon crossover episode.
But yeah, Orochimaru is like in a bathtub, floating inside of a tree,
Yeah.
and he giggles when Anko approaches.
Hate that.
Yeah, having no time for his games, Anko reminds him that he's an S-class criminal and swears to annihilate her former sensei. Bum, bum, bum.
That's crazy.
I know. So that's how they know each other.
Dude, I'm expecting like when you first hear that and you saw what he did to those kids.
Yeah, I know.
I'm expecting the illest battle. One where like you'd see Naruto and Sasuke going, "Hey, what's happening?" Sasuke's like, "You can't see this yet. You're not advanced."
Yeah. Orochimaru fires his tongue out like a shotgun, and it follows Anko even as she retreats, wrapping around her wrist and pulling her towards him. She counters with her striking shadow snake jutsu, which causes 4 super long snakes to blast out of her sleeve towards Orochimaru, yanking him out of the tree.
I want to learn that.
Yeah, right? Well, do you just
Yeah.
want snakes in
I
your
will.
sleeve?
Yes.
I feel
Only when I want them there.
related. I relate towards
Sure.
Anko a lot in the sense where now that I know that she's also a snake person and seeing the other snake people and how they dress and look,
Yeah.
it's similar to how like I like looked like absolute city trash, and then I came upstate and I started like showing my ankles and shit.
What?
That's what I feel like. I feel
See,
like 'cause she looks so more like Leaf Villagey.
Oh yeah, so
snake.
she used to dress like Orochimaru, and now she's like
Because
conforming.
Orochimaru is more like tight, fucking what do they call fishnet? you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Which,
Purple rope.
it's like,
Purple rope,
I just-
bells.
Sure.
it's just like titties out.
Orochimaru? Or
No,
Anko? Oh, yeah,
Anko.
Anko, yeah. Well, you know, body positive. If Naruto
It was
is
really
one
funny.
thing.
It's very
I'm
free
here
flow
for it.
village.
Yeah. No, it's good. I wrote again here, oh my god, this episode's so pretty. It was a beautiful fight. Anko uses the momentum from pulling Orochimaru loose to lob him into another tree trunk. She then runs directly in front of him, pinning both of them where they stand by holding his hand against the tree and stabbing through both of their hands with her kunai.
That was fucking
so
hard.
I like-
much. Yeah.
Like, I think that was right when you called me. So when I was watching these episodes, Liam called me and I didn't answer. But I looked at my phone for a while and I looked back up and I was like, wait, her hand is also, huh?
Yeah.
And then I was like,
This is not a good episode to look away from.
Yeah.
Really not at all.
It was painful for me because I have to pause it constantly and write the outline. And I think that this might be the first episode of Naruto that I ever rewatch after writing the outline. Because, I mean, it takes me at least twice as long to get through these episodes because I'm writing. And so by the time I'm done with them, I'm like, fuck, I never want to watch this shit again. But 30 is too good, man. Pleased with her trap, Anko uses Orochimaru's free hand to weave signs. Like, because it takes two hands to weave jutsu signs, so she uses Orochimaru.
Oh, that's what was happening.
Yeah, because you have to have both of them to make those. Yeah. And even Orochimaru is fearful of the jutsu he knows the sign will cast. Twin snake sacrifice jutsu.
Yeah.
That just sounds hardcore. We're going from like
it does.
We're like going from demon wind shuriken and like fireball jutsu to like
twin snake sacrifice. Yeah. This is what it's like when fucking Jonin fight, man.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Still, Orochimaru cackles, insisting that Anko will die alone and materializing behind her. The body she has pinned to the tree melts into mud. It's another substitution.
Bro, this part. Definitely a very serious episode.
Yeah.
But this is where a little bit of that Cartoon Network shines.
You're right.
Yeah.
Just how evil Orochimaru is.
But just like, even I think I'm citing just this scene an example where he's just like pulling up and he just goes substitution.
Yeah.
Like they're Jonin. These guys should be like seeing through this shit.
True. But Orochimaru appears behind Anko. And this is the first time that we actually see Orochimaru's face because he peels off the rest of the Grass Ninja's stolen face and the moonlight comes up. The moon rises and shines down to reveal this snake-looking evil motherfucker.
He's a handsome motherfucker. I don't know if you guys... Has anyone here seen Mr. Robot?
Parts of it, yeah.
Okay, so you know the character Terrell? Very similar. Like, if you can get a real-life looking dude to mimic Orochimaru's same like sense of villainy and fear, but you look so good doing it. Yeah, that's a good. Like,
interesting.
thing.
But it's badass when we see Orochimaru and he's like, "Here I am, motherfucker."
Was that your snake person voice?
Oh, wow.
Dude, why do all snakes sound so maniacally evil?
Yeah, I know.
Like, either that or they're really wacky. They're like, I'm a snake, and it's like, and the other one's like,
I'm a snake.
I
fucking kill your kids.
I think I've talked to less snakes than you.
I've talked to a few, despite only meeting my first snake.
You saw your first snake when I was with you.
When we visited Allie's hometown, I met my first snake, but he also met the bottom of my shoe because I stepped on him on accident. Yeah. He was alive, though. I don't think he fell. It was more so like a spring, like he bounced me back up, and I like the second Liam said, "Oh, look, your first snake." I was already like on his ass. So I was like, "What? Yeah. Whoop!" And then because Liam and Allie are noticeably less terrified. I don't think they feel fear of a snake that size. I was crying on the inside.
What size was it?
Yeah.
Like
it was like a garden. Yeah. But still, it was his first snake.
I was like internally combusting. I didn't want to see this.
I mean, snakes are spooky as shit, especially if you've never seen them.
Yeah, no. The first time I met him, I attacked him.
I mean, the only reference you had was Orochimaru.
Imagine opening the door and you meet like a completely new guy. He just looks like a normal average Joe, and he's like, "Hey," and you go, "Hi," and he just starts beating the shit out of you for no reason.
What is the point of that?
That's what I did that
where
fucking
did that
snake.
come from?
Oh, yes. Oh,
hey, buddy, how are you? Fine.
Stepped on. Bam.
For beating the shit out of him.
But yeah, snakes do scare me. I used to ride over them all the time.
I feel so bad.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Not on purpose, but like there's a really long bike trail by my house, and snakes just ran across it all the time.
Got it.
Do you apologize and give them a proper
I do,
burial?
yeah. If any snakes are listening, I'm sorry for running over your brethren.
We give you proper burials, that is for sure.
Anko turns and slings the kunai from out of her palm at her Forsaken teacher.
You just caught that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, he catches it just 2 fingers without
so
a second thought.
That was...
Yeah, because the thing is, like, now that the Grass Ninja's face is gone, this is Orochimaru we're dealing with. Not an imposter. Yeah. It's not a game. Yep. This is the guy.
Yep.
Caught it like a cigarette, bro.
Not only does he catch it like a cigarette, he throws it aside, he snarls at Anko, and it paralyzes her. Yep. Like, with just a snarl. That, again, I wrote, oh my god, this episode is pretty and powerful, too.
The sound design is fantastic.
Yeah. Anko demands to know Orochimaru's purpose, wondering if he's come to kill the third Hokage, but the villain reveals that he doesn't yet have the manpower to attempt such a coup.
Which is scary as shit.
How do you figure?
Like, it's... Imagine being like, oh, well, I don't have the following.
Yeah. But it's...
But, like, you could.
Yeah, but it's gonna happen.
It's
yeah,
like,
it's terrifying.
It is. And those words, like, stuck. Like, he was like, oh, well, I don't have the following for
Yeah.
that yet.
Well,
and I was like,
it's interesting, as big and scary as like Gato and Zabuza and Haku and all the guys from the last arc were.
Yeah.
Orochimaru is clearly something we've never seen before.
I felt fear from his
Yeah,
fear.
and the way that Anko acts around him makes it very clear that this is not a regular threat.
Yeah.
Anko falls to her knees in pain from the curse mark on her neck, like motherfucking Harry Potter and Voldemort, my guy.
I was thinking that the whole time.
I figured you would appreciate that, yeah.
Very Voldemort. We gotta bring it back to Harry Potter all the time.
Yeah.
You guys were here during the first season. All we did was connect it to fucking Harry Potter constantly.
Really?
Well,
love
it's
that.
look.
So it's not like entirely like we're just pulling it out of our ass. During like one of the first few episodes when Naruto and Sasuke first meet, Sasuke pulls up in his car. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Raj tried to convince Emma that they drove around in a car and it got caught by a tree.
Oh.
They believe me.
No, but they actually do have a lot of similarities. In, like,
The entire last episode, I don't think I actually said it, but I wrote it in my notes so many times how much Sakura reminds me of Hermione for some reason.
Yeah.
In the tests, like when they were doing the written exams, I was
well,
like,
there's
oh my.
and I mean, like, really briefly,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of similarities. Like, Harry Potter was so popular because it turned England into a magical land. Kishimoto, the guy who wrote Naruto, he was warned not to make it too Japanesey because it wouldn't be palatable to a Western audience. But he made it a lot like, well, yeah, but he made it a lot like where he's from, which turned Japan into like a mystical land.
That's true.
Just like Harry Potter did for England.
Yeah.
And they both have a hard magic
so
system.
cool.
Like, you can learn spells just like you can learn hand signs for the jutsu. And which
That's
makes it really popular with
crazy.
kids. And they both came out in the late 90s. I
Love
know.
that. That's so
They're both
fun.
British.
Nope.
What?
They are.
Naruto is supposed to be British, actually. Like,
That's
him as a guy. Sasuke's Japanese. Naruto is supposed to be an American or a British kid. And they're all supposed to be different ethnicities because there's not like countries in our world in
Is
Naruto.
that why Naruto's
Blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But so Anko has the important part here is that Anko has the same curse mark that Sasuke does.
Yeah.
And Anko insists that Sasuke would sooner die than serve Orochimaru. But Orochimaru admits that Sasuke might not even survive the process of obtaining the curse mark.
His odds are 10 to 1 against him.
Yeah, so Sasuke only has a 1 in 10 chance of making it through the night.
Which is crazy.
Whoa,
Yeah.
I heard that line twice and didn't process what it meant
Yeah,
until right now.
Well, I mean, you saw how much pain he and even Anko are in from it. Yeah, there's like a chance that he
wait.
could die from it. For just
Do we
just
know
from
if he
getting it.
does?
No, we don't.
Okay, I just I didn't remember if he did, and I'm like reading,
Yeah,
looking
no.
at my notes. I'm like, wait, did something
there's-
happen that I'm forgetting?
No.
So suspense until next week.
Suspense is hell, yeah. Anko remarks on how badly Orochimaru must want Sasuke, and he rubs her face coyly. Like, it is... Orochimaru
that's
gives off
weird.
hella hentai vibes, bro.
Oh
He's
my.
definitely one of those like suit-wearing motherfuckers who are like,
Yeah.
you here now.
Yeah, he is. He's like fucking Christian Grey ass bitch.
Oh my.
Orochimaru wonders if Anko is jealous of how she was used and disposed of. Continuing, Orochimaru mysteriously claims that the Uchiha child may serve as his perfect heir.
I like how he says Uchiha child like he's a trophy.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's creepy
Yeah.
as shit.
It is creepy.
Orochimaru then commands Anko to assure the exams are not stopped early. After all, he wants to see how his sound ninja lackeys perform.
He's such like a psychopath.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
really
everybody's
is.
just working for him, you know? And if anything happens to deprive him of this, he warns that he will destroy the Leaf Village.
Which
and then he
is
slinks
mean.
away.
That was free. I will. Like, he did like a terrifying voiceover. I will destroy
Yeah,
the
yeah.
It's like he's so confident about it.
And the way he's like, if anything happens to deprive me of
Yeah.
my fun.
Yeah.
My favorite
Deprive
moment
was a weird word.
was
It
when
is.
he walked up behind her.
Yeah.
And you saw it in the reflection.
Yeah, that's, of the kunai.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the,
That was
the cinematography.
So good. Beautiful
It
here.
felt like something out of an actual film.
Yeah, no, this is a 10 out of 10 shit.
To be fair, like the actual Naruto films do just look like this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
at least
because
the
they're higher
snow
budget,
one,
more.
yeah.
Yeah. And this is honestly, when you read it, this is kind of what it looks like. Like, Kishimoto has a very cinematic way of drawing.
Yeah.
And
Are we gonna watch the movies ever?
no, unless one of the $10 tier patrons ask us to. Because I know where they go in the canon,
Yeah.
and they disrupt a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one movie that's canon, and we'll watch that.
Okay.
But it
Are we watching that after we finish all of Naruto?
is somewhere in the 400s of Shippuden.
Okay.
Do you have it planned already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know where it goes.
William sent us a roadmap of this
Of
podcast.
the first 47
right.
episodes of the podcast.
And it is kind of super, because there's just some episodes where he goes, episode 3, episode 4, then there's one that's episode 16, parentheses, oh my god!
I guess I never even thought that there were mild spoilers in the roadmap.
It's just so funny to see your little thought, because you did it, I know you definitely don't, Liam's not someone who waits to do something. You, get it all done.
Oh, yeah.
If it takes a night, it takes a night. You'll do it. But just seeing, I know in one thought you were going, number, this is amazing, number, we meet Itachi, number.
So Orochimaru slinks away with this warning that he'll destroy the village. Elsewhere, we see Rock Lee's team, my boy, and they're just wrapping up a little break, and Neji instructs the team to fan out in search of sleeping squads that they can steal the scrolls from, which is smart thinking.
So smart.
Another thing I want to point out, this is where the cartoon part came out, where specifically, I don't know if you guys focused on Lee's animation or design there. It's paper cutout for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Well, actually, an interesting thing, Raj is just showing a still image from the episode, but actually, a lot of the still images from this episode are used as examples of bad animation, because the keyframes, which are when you have it still, and those are the good, well-animated shots, are so few because there's so many frames per second when they animate this slickly that a lot of the if you pause anywhere, it'll look really ugly because it's going so rapidly. Yeah, so that's why. But also, I think that Lee is supposed to look a little cartoony because he's a cartoony little boy.
I might make these Discord emotes.
That would actually be really good.
These are great.
That's so funny.
But yeah, Neji tells them to fan out, and they break apart.
New emotes, guys.
Yeah. Hey, if you're in the Discord, new emotes coming soon.
Join the Discord to see our emotes.
But yeah, the group breaks apart, and Neji throws down a kunai. He's like, meet back here if anything happens, which is important. It's clearly going to come back later.
He really threw that kunai down he had nothing to lose.
Meet back here, motherfuckers.
That's the equivalent of smoking a cigarette. He
really throwing a kunai down?
Took a quick...
I think it's more the equivalent of a mic drop, bro.
Yeah.
That and true. But what's cooler? Someone going on stage and dropping a mic, or someone
lighting up a cigarette?
Just smoking?
Actually, that would be pretty cool.
What if you
single spotlight, you walk out on stage, light up as you
Dude, I'm thinking add to the performance. You do say it's a comedy set. You do your set and then you just kind of just light up and you just smoke.
As the lights go down and you walk out.
No, just awkwardly the lights are still on. You just start smoking.
You're making it less cool.
No, I'm saying, what if you just start smoking? You just have no cares in the world.
Smoking.
no care in the world. I don't care if the next guy's got to go on. He can go on next to me smoking. I don't give a shit.
That's just describing a rude comedian.
I guess so.
Meanwhile, Sakura has dragged Naruto and Sasuke beneath the aerating roots of a massive tree. Like I said, the roots have grown well above the ground and they form like a hut, sort of. She celebrates that Sasuke's breath has eased, like he's not in as much audible pain, but she's still concerned by his high fever. Noting that Naruto is also incapacitated, she strengthens her resolve. Their survival lies entirely in her hands.
That's heavy shit.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I like Sakura now. After episode 30, she's kind of badass.
I don't know. Did it take really good animation to make her good?
Yes.
Exactly.
Straight up.
What sucks is that there's not going to be this level.
It was 29 when she threw it at Naruto and saved him from falling.
That was a good.
I see you.
That was a good little foot in the door.
She's stepping her game up in the Chunin exam.
Definitely, you can see potential.
And she carried the team to the written test.
She did. Yeah.
Bro, it's like that reader response we had last week. After the chapter Sakura's depression, she's been like a whole ass character since
No, that's
then.
true. You know, I'll give it to her. No, I'll give it to her.
On the outskirts of the forest, Anko bandages her hand and heads off to inform the Hokage of Orochimaru's arrival. She's stopped by 3 massive tigers, which emerge from the nearby foliage.
I really don't have the time for this right now.
Yeah, but she also can't fight them off because of the pain from her curse mark.
And that's when Obama was flying on his fucking helicopter on Air Force One, and he used a Gatling gun, and Yoda flipped downward, and it was just so weird.
Not quite Obama and Yoda, but an Anbu Black Ops team.
Quite the dynamic duo.
Quite the dynamic duo.
Yoda.
But yeah, 2 Anbu Black Ops, which is the first time I think we've seen the Anbu.
Yeah.
But they're those dudes with the mask.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like the secret police of the Leaf Village, and they paralyzed the tigers with a jutsu. Examining her, the Anbu conclude that Orochimaru is nearby because her curse mark is visible. Anko insists that they travel to the tower at the center of the Forest of Death, not to the Hokage's office in the village.
This guy, it added to a little bit of his fear because they didn't even want to believe that Orochimaru could be around.
know, yeah. They were like, your curse mark. Oh,
These two guys reminded me, you ever watch Venture Brothers?
Yeah.
You know the two B guys?
Yeah,
It was like that. They're like, Orochimaru's around.
Yeah.
Oh no.
When Anko says she doesn't want to go to the Hokage's office, the Anbu protest, but she demands they escort her to that tower and that the Hokage be summoned to meet them, promising to explain everything when they arrive. Deep within the forest, Sakura has nodded off, and the 3 sound ninja approach Team 7, concealed high above in the greenery. Fucking furry guy. At Orochimaru's behest, they plan to strike at daybreak, and while their target is Sasuke, they have no issue killing Sakura and Naruto if they interfere. As the dawn's first beams of sunlight peer through the leaves, Sakura gently wakes and observes her teammates peacefully resting beside her, blissfully unaware of the impending sound ninja threat.
These fucking predators, man.
And that's the end.
Chill.
The morning was so, like, realistic.
Yeah, I spent literally half an hour forming that last paragraph. Because I wanted to, like, it was such a, because it's the sound ninja in the trees and like, ho, we're going to take out these guys tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And then it's like, peaceful sunrise, and
It's
Sakura wakes up and it pans up. The camera, it like looks at the, it's a gorgeous ending, gorgeous episode.
Oh.
But what did you guys think?
Let's now talk about it.
Well, we're already Naruto talking
We've been
about
doing that, right?
Yeah.
Naru.
Where'd you go?
What else can we do besides NaruTalk? NaruTalk.
What did you think of the episode?
Naru thought about the episode. It was 29. Again, bad animation makes up for it greatly with.
Yeah, really felt like it was slowing down.
Fantastic dialogue, great fear. Episode 30. My God, fantastic.
Well, they did that in the last arc too. We had a 4-episode week where it was like
so slow.
One episode worth of content over 4 fucking episodes.
And it wasn't even filler.
Wow.
So.
And then there were 3 episodes back to back that were like stuff happening.
Yeah.
And they actually do that a lot because this studio that did episode 30 comes in about once an arc. To do the next.
They're like.
Yeah, they're expensive as fuck, I imagine, but they're the big guns, and they do it for episodes that really, really matter.
Does that mean we're not seeing any during the Chunin exam?
Oh, we are.
Oh, okay, so that's a whole different.
And I will announce when we are next week, because there's something special about the next time we see these guys.
Stay tuned.
But we'll get to that next week. I know, none of you guys know
I'm so
yet.
confused
I know,
right now.
but it doesn't matter. But yeah, when something really big happens, they pull out the big guns, and Naruto ultimately is a show in 3 parts. I mean, there's Boruto also, but that's off in its own little corner. But there's original Naruto when they're all kids.
Yeah.
And then there's Naruto Shippuden, which is they're all quite a bit older.
Yeah.
And Shippuden itself is broken up into 2 parts, kind of. Not they don't. There's not a new name for it, but there's like 2 major acts of Shippuden.
Okay.
And there's sort of a new antagonist in every act. I mean, they all tie together, of course, but there's a bigger goal in every act. And Orochimaru, guys, we've now met, like, the guy for part 1.
Yeah,
like,
the big bad.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should mention that because I didn't know if it was spoilery, but, like,
I don't think so.
I think it just emphasizes,
I think
like...
we kind of felt that.
Yeah, well, exactly, you can.
A lot of
you
foreshadowing
can.
the way he would leave.
That's
always.
terrifying.
Yeah.
He like almost didn't leave without doing foreshadowing.
Yeah. Katie or Maureen, do you guys have any...
I feel like the way that they paired all of the action and like the gore and the like very like just gross, awful, terrifying things with how like beautiful and serene this forest of death is. Like sunset was so like sunsets are my favorite time of day because it's beautiful and it's just like warm and happy and like lovely. But also you feel like you can't. It's like when it's sunset, but you're having a bad day.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's very
was
unsettling.
a beautiful sunset, but they're all like, "Oh fuck, it's about to get dark out."
Yeah.
Dude, no,
And we don't know what the fuck's going
sunset
on.
while having a bad day is such a terrible feeling.
Well, that's
Exactly.
episode 30.
No, like
Yeah.
I was just like kind of zoning out, but like as you said that, I felt nothing but immense heaviness and
Yeah.
pain. I was like, oh, this sucks.
Katie, do you have any... particularly profound thoughts.
Not particularly. I don't know. I thought the episodes were really good. I enjoyed them a lot.
Yeah.
It was more fighting than we had seen, but it didn't bother me in the slightest. Like, it was still really interesting. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I read the manga chapters along with this just because ever since we got that reader response, I'm feeling really self-conscious about what's in the This is all filler. 30. It's pretty much all filler. This fight is 1 chapter long.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is an example. Like, sometimes the filler is good.
Yeah, like that was a good fight.
I'm really careful with the filler that I've chosen for us to watch, like this, because there are aspects that are fleshed out, which is still technically filler. But I think there's a big difference between fleshing out stuff that isn't in the manga.
Yeah. There's a big difference between episode 30 and episode 26.
Fuck episode 26.
My God.
So if it's like an episode 26
difference.
situation, we're skipping it.
Yeah.
If it's a 30, we're watching it.
The fact that the outro is still that outro for this.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. I want to say, I love the outro now. Because when it's
not hooked.
dude, I love when it's like, especially the end of 29, which is Sasuke opening his eyes with the Sharingan, he's ready to fight, and then it fades to black. And then it's fucking Sakura and Nina swaying back and forth.
It's so stupid.
I mean, I guess it is a nice little break. Funny. But I literally remember watching the end of 29 and my jaw was dropped. And then the outro started playing and Katie started laughing.
Well, that's kind of why I love it though, man. Yeah. Like, when the episodes were more cartoony, it was just like, oh, it's just a shitty outro. But now it's like, what the fuck is this?
But I still love the intro so much. It's so rocking.
I mean, I skip it every time, but I believe you.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. No, I can't skip it because I don't.
Hulu.
Yeah, no, I can skip the intro. I just don't want to because I don't like touch my controller because once there's ads, I just need to like sit back and just accept that there'll be like times where I don't gotta look.
Yeah. But yeah,
I have Netflix too. Guys, in the span of since I lost it and this episode, I had it for like 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose from Hulu. I get an experience. Like, where else am I going to hear someone call, Anko Uncle?
Yeah, that's
In
true.
my head, apparently. Yeah, I was the person that wrote these subtitles.
Yeah, well, amazing episodes. I think amazing end credit sequence. Let's get into some amazing reader responses. First off, I want to shout out our incredible patrons who help support the podcast at www.NaruTalk. Wait, what is it? patreon.com/NaruTalk. Yeah, right. They throw in a couple bucks a month, specifically at the Genin tier, which is the $5 tier, which gets you a shout out on the podcast, access to our Discord, and access to at least one bonus episode every month. We released Rio Radio. Released our first one last week.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is an excellent episode. I recommend everyone listen. At the Genin tier, we have John Solomon, who I think is the guy that you're friends with in the Discord.
I'm friends with everyone in the Discord, but
that's true. You're king of the Discord.
There's a lot of anytime anyone sends me love on the Discord, I woke up to someone's really nice message today, and whoever you are, thank you so much. You talked about my life update story. Waking up to that made me want to get up and
Raj is in charge of the Discord, so whatever you say to him there, that's his domain.
Yeah, I have notifications on for everything, so you guys say anything, I'm just staring at my phone. I'm like, God, there's people here. It's just such a weird feeling to just have people find you funny. It's that's awesome.
Yeah. And but big thanks to John Solomon. Of course, every episode we give thanks to our patrons at the TuneIn tier at $10 or higher, which is currently Dave Mata and Nina Kelly. Huge thanks to those guys.
So
they are
we love you.
The pillars holding up my insanity that drives this podcast.
Actually, I was hanging with Ninu last night. They were so fantastic. I was just needing a good time. I didn't want to be back in my room, and I was just way too high. So I was like, "Hey, Ninu, can I come over?" And it's like, yes. And Ninu and all their friends are around. They're playing Danganronpa 2. So I'm just sitting there. I'm just watching them. They were voicing all the characters. There's 4 of them in the room. They were voicing, and it felt so surreal. And I felt like I was just watching a visual novel in real life,
incredible.
Like a real life play.
And of course, I always feel like in a way, Dave Mata is always in my heart.
Dave Mata is in our hearts forever.
Oh, yes.
The idea of Dave Mata is just the best in the world, and him as a person.
Dave Mata is my reason for living.
Yeah, every day I wake up and I'm like, can I get out of bed today? And then I think, Dave Motto would want me to get out of bed today.
Dave only wants the best for us.
Of course.
Like, I really think about it. When I get low enough, I'm like, oh, I can't leave Dave.
Yeah, exactly. There are times throughout the week where I'm like, can I really record another podcast? It's so much work. And then I'm like, for Dave.
For Dave.
Anyways, let us know what you think of the episodes of us. Ask questions, leave comments, tell us how and why you're listening. And ask questions.
Tell us what you're eating if you're eating.
Yeah, and you can do all that by getting in touch with us. Our Gmail is narutalkpod@gmail.com. Our Facebook is NaruTalk, the Naruto ShipPodcast. I don't understand Facebook, but it is there if you use it.
I understand Facebook.
It's that and the website, which is narutalk.wordpress.com, are a bit of a mess because I don't know how to use either of them. But it is there for you. Our YouTube is NaruTalk Pod. We're gonna start putting up more stuff there eventually, but right now it's just episodes of the podcast and the video of Emma and I at the convention. Our Instagram and Twitter are both at NaruTalk Pod. You got to go to the Instagram or the YouTube to see Ali Caruso's phenomenal art for every episode.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And then the Twitter I try and tweet from every 2 or so days, and I come up with the
notifications on. Liam finds a way to cash in on anything.
Yeah, anything that's trending on Twitter.
Sometimes I'll see a really awful hashtag. I'll see cancel R. Kelly. I'm like, how is he gonna find a way to get R. Kelly into Naruto? He'll do it.
You gotta find a way.
You're just good.
You can also use the hashtag NaruTalkPod or NaruTalkers or this is all I use social media for, so I will see it if you post it. And
quick call to action. When I listen to podcasts, I'm usually playing games I need to grind through. I put them on mute. Yeah. So shit like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which I have officially 60 hours in.
Which is absurd.
But I listen to a podcast during the whole time to pass by the pain. So if you're playing a video game or something, let me know. I want to know.
Oh yeah, let us know what you're doing while you listen.
I listen to this while playing Metro 2033.
If you're doing homework or regular work or working
at
on
the gym,
project.
that's when I listen to podcasts.
Tell us what you do while you listen to us talk about Naruto.
That would be fascinating.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
You can help support the podcast at, like we said, www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. That we recently had to buy a new mic, which was $150. So
we are broke.
Really need help. There's tiers on the Patreon. You can get new stuff at every tier. $10, you get to choose what we talk about in a bonus episode. $5, you get to listen to those bonus episodes. $25, you get physical merchandise. And $100 to meet up with us, but that's more of a for fun tier. Yeah. I mean, if you have the money, please.
Do you have the $4,000 tier?
I got rid of that. Yeah,
we got it. I think at some point someone will just do it.
Well, if someone pledges to the $100 tier, then I'll make a $1,000 tier.
You just gotta keep getting wagged. No one's gonna do 200, and then we're just gonna keep
going. Yeah. As soon as
nobody would do $1 million.
We only need 3,000 to get to Disneyland.
But imagine if we got $1 million.
Well, $1 million a couple people pledged 3,000. There you go.
That's $1 million.
Yeah. Are there 1 million letters in $1 million?
Yes.
No. Anyways, there's tiers. Bonus episode, of course, you don't want to miss. My dad definitely listens every week, and he doesn't support us on Patreon. Dad?
Come on, Dad.
I know you have a job. Give me money.
Or my parents, if you found me, because you really have no idea what I do every Thursday... Hi.
Please support us on Patreon.
Yeah, it'd be great.
To all the orphans out there, I'm not an orphan, but hi.
Yeah, sure.
Hello. You're valid.
Annie listens every week with Sandy. The dog. It's little orphan Annie from the play.
I thought you said and he, and I was like, Raj?
Oh, no.
Raj listens every week with
Raj
the dog.
And his dog Sandy.
Yes.
But links for all that stuff is in the description below, or you can rewind and listen. But anyways, at all those places you can send us reader responses. Reader responses like...
I'm going to take this. We have an email from Terry. Hey, gang.
This is a good one.
I've been listening since June and have been nearly pissing myself from laughing so much at your guys' way off-topic rants and discussions. I've watched through the whole Naruto series a few times now, so question for the newbies.
Hey, that's you two.
I'm curious to know if you guys have any predictions for the show. In this arc, who do you think might become a Chunin? That was Wave of the Land of Waves over, so I guess just apply it to this arc.
No. This is a new email.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Chunin. Oh, this is Chunin exams. Oh, right. I'm thinking of the Genin test shit. Oh my god. But anyway, also just this whole show. Any ships you guys hope will pull through? So any relationships you guys want to see be a thing? Just things like that. Yeah, y'all are pretty great. 9 tails out of 9, Terry.
Yeah. So
thank you
first before you guys respond. Great rating system.
Fantastic. We might steal it. Terry, you're great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending us an
Tails at
email.
9, yeah. So, do you guys have any predictions?
Oh.
Well, let's do... Yeah.
Predictions then ships.
I mean, it's kind of hard to do predictions. And we might do a whole prediction episode, so it doesn't, like...
Interesting.
All I hope for this whole series is that the Sakura that we saw in 30 and kind of the end of 29 is the Sakura that we get. And that Sakura finds some love for herself and stops focusing on boys.
I didn't expect that at all.
Sasuke does not matter.
I mean, he does,
but he's fucking... clearly he doesn't,
not
because
for
he's
her, not for
fucking
her, but
asleep and has a
to me.
fever. Like, what is he gonna do? Sit there and be warm? Like...
I mean, he's warm.
Well,
He's
actually,
a warm
I don't
boy.
know if you've heard, but he actually doesn't have enough heat.
Bro, for real. She's too cool, man.
But I just want Sakura to find some love for herself.
What about you, Katie?
See, I was gonna say that I wanted Hinata and Naruto again, but and then Morgan went with the whole
No.
guys.
Stick with it, because I'll tell you what.
It's their whole chest.
Like I said before, every other time I've watched Naruto, I have never understood Hinata and Naruto shippers.
For real.
It is literally thanks to you, Katie.
Really?
Yeah, and you and of course you two, Morgan, are in support of it, but Katie's just like immense.
She's so cute.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden I'm like, fuck, I hope Hinata and Naruto end up together.
Like, we know what happens. We're still like, oh, there's a chance.
Yeah, like honestly, I kind of love them now.
Yeah,
You know what you
she's
can do
just
if you
so- I
also
don't
want
know.
Hinata and Naruto to be together? Write a fanfic. Or write a fanfic about us.
Yeah, we really want someone to write a
I could be
fanfic about
Hinata.
us. Yeah.
You could be Naruto.
You know
Ooh.
what? I know for a fact that Nina's a creative writing major. Nina,
Nina!
please write fan fiction about us.
Oh my.
Do you guys have any reader responses picked out?
Here, can I go? Because my phone's
Yes.
about to die.
Hell yeah.
Or
Wait, do you have
already
any
died.
predictions?
Never mind.
Oh, predictions?
Name another wacky animal you'll think
I
will
want
pull up.
Lee and Sakura to end up together.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's
Always.
I
That's
don't think I want that.
all I want is for Lee to get everything
I want
he
Lee and Big
Interesting.
Lee to get together.
wants. Oh yeah.
I want there to be a lot of bears, like huge fucking bears.
Bears?
Because you know how like tigers pulled up for no reason? What if just
We've
like,
got giant snakes. For God's sakes, we're the bears.
What about some lions also?
Oh my.
honestly,
Thank
quickly
you.
round table before we do read response. Animal you want to see in Naruto? Go, Liam.
I don't know that many animals. More dogs. More Akamaru.
Yes,
All right.
more dogs, but also a little hedgehog.
Hedgehog.
Otters, definitely.
I want to see silverback gorillas and bears.
Oh my
Raj.
gosh.
Dragons.
Gosh. Maybe a giraffe.
Maybe a giraffe.
Maybe frogs.
Frog.
Wink, wink, wink.
Wink, wink, wink.
Amphibian?
Tune in.
Yeah, sorry, that's a little... It doesn't matter. Anyways, your reader response?
Give me your dog on Instagram, which
it.
I'm reading
Stop
because that's a
winking.
great name. Oh, sorry. They said, alright, so like, real shit, I love your podcast and it's hella funny. I just wanted to say, keep up the good work. Believe it.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you so much at gimme_your_dog.
If you start any fucking thing ever with real shit, I'm gonna love you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Real shit.
Real shit.
We love your comment.
We love you.
Yeah.
This is a response from Instagram user Patrick Bingstrom.
Yeah, that's the Patrick. That's
Patrick.
he's
Yeah,
one of our
it's Discord.
patrons.
Hi,
Yeah.
Patrick.
love
Wow,
this one.
you guys look way different than I imagined. Believe it. Great podcast, by the way.
I do believe
I
it,
love
that.
and I hate it.
I want to
but-
know what he imagined.
I
He
hope
should
I
do a
look
drawing.
better than you imagined,
Yeah,
because the chances of that being a thing aren't very high.
Well, I don't know. I feel like if I heard
Don't
4
say
people
that.
just talking about anime,
I would
Yeah,
imagine
I would
True.
imagine.
that's fair.
Yeah.
No,
I
people-
want a
But-
drawing. Can
People
he
can-
draw
hell
what he
yeah.
thought we looked
Send
like?
us in a reader response of exactly what you think or
Well,
thought
didn't-
we looked like.
We've asked for
no.
fan art before. If you can make fan art, please do. We
Yeah,
appreciate
fan
any of
anything,
it.
honestly.
Send it to us any
Just
way you
knowing
can.
people listen is the most incredible thing in the
Yes.
world. Anyways, as we're doing for these 2 episodes that are just 2 episodes, I'm going to read one of the super long emails that we got. This time from Bobby Yukitsuki. He said, I just got a chance to listen to the latest podcast episode, and hearing you transition from dosu to peeing and crossing the streams was an extremely bizarre moment that absolutely made my otherwise dull day. That's
Thank you.
obviously, that was a couple episodes
love
ago,
that.
but
Thank
yeah,
you
I know.
so
That's
much.
incredible.
It was fun hearing you guys talking about dosu in the episode. Dosu, who the fuck is that? Sorry. That's the name of the little furry guy.
Oh.
Yeah. They're weird with names in this. They just occasionally drop them, and you just have to pick up on it. But
Got it.
I figured now would be a
will
good
never.
time to finally be like,
Still
Yeah.
gonna call him
well,
little furry guy,
exactly.
but that's fine.
You only get the names from the outlines, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dosu. He's Bobby's favorite character in the anime, and hearing us talk about him as the little furry guy made him laugh a lot. Dosu's introduction was played really well, in my opinion. His cryptic appearance and first scene really play him up as dramatic and an important threat, which we talked a lot about, you know, the music and the angles and the this and the that. The writer really knew how to establish him well as a character. Bobby still thinks that his greatest feat in the show was in that first exam when he listens to the pencils and figures out what they're writing, which
insane.
It was really cool.
Cool as
that
shit.
was crazy.
Like, what a cool way to tie sound into
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
that takes not only an extremely sensitive awareness of hearing, but also skilled deduction. Well, yeah, what? Hinata is super relatable, to be honest. He also said, which I think, again...
She really is.
She's just so sweet and pure and wonderful. We love her.
And Bobby loved all of our, wait, how did they not get caught discussion during the exam. Yeah, because really, how did they... Yeah, in hindsight, Bobby feels like the proctors were less looking for people who were cheating and more seeing the creative ways they could do it.
That's true. That guy saw Agara and was like, I'm going to chill.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's kind of the conclusion we came to, too. Bobby's looking forward to us talking about the Forest of Death, as that is arguably Dosu's biggest scene and the one that sticks with people the most. Now, the reason that I chose to read this email now, of course, is that the last thing we saw was Dosu and the other two Sound Ninja.
So that was it. That was his greatest scene ever.
Wow, he was so brilliant.
But
Thanks, Raj.
I thought, what a perfect email to read now when we're just about to see what comes next.
The big scene, the
now
big
we
moment.
know it's going to be big. We don't really know what it is.
The fur on his back?
Yeah.
What if he pulls off the bandages all around his face and he has
and
like
it's Hinata?
Yeah, because this guy has pupils, so...
But maybe it's an act.
Maybe it's a what?
An act?
Oh, it's like contact lenses?
Yeah. Maybe it's all just a good costume.
Maybe.
Maybe this is all just a really weird Halloween party.
The whole show?
Yeah.
But anyways, like, subscribe, rate, whatever you do, wherever you are. Best way to get in touch with us, other than the Patreon and the Discord, is probably by leaving a 5-star review. Whatever they are, be they positive or negative, I'll read them out. And you can do that in your app, by the way.
Both, honestly. If you want to leave us in purgatory, like you know Ray Romano?
Sure.
He at one point his Wikipedia was made to just hypotheticals. So if you want to hypothetically ask us a question where you're just like hypothetically insulting us and praising us,
as long as it's in a 5-star review, we'll read it out.
Get creative.
Yeah.
Get fun.
Excellent 5-star reviews, like for example, Dr. Ruth Beck said, tear-jerking, a truly inspiring piece of work that perfectly captures modern art. Each star given for this rating was specifically plucked out of the sky just for the beautiful piece of work. So, thanks, Dr. Ruth Beck. We appreciate you.
It's crazy.
I know.
That is a doctor, man. This dude went to medical school.
But yeah, tell your friends. That's probably the best way to help us get new listeners.
You're an awesome doctor. Great.
Yeah. And of course, as always, big, massive thanks to Glenn Federico, who does our little NaruTalk, the ShipPodcast logo, and like we said, Ali Caruso, who makes epic Photoshop art for every episode that we put up. Next Monday, we're going to be talking back to 3 episodes a week. We're going to be talking about episodes 31, 32, and 33. Let us know what you think of those episodes if you watch ahead at all the places that I already said. Really, though, above all, thank you so much for listening.
Seriously, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out. Thanks for being a supporter. Like, it all means an absolute boatload to me and to all of us.
Like 8 boatloads.
8 boatloads?
Like a yacht
I would
load.
say even 9 boats.
Out of 9 tails?
Yes! 10 out of 10 bushy boats. I'm sorry. What am I saying? It doesn't matter. The podcast is over.
Like bushy brows?
Yeah, it was another reader response said that. Anyways, the point is, thank you for listening, and as always, be safe, have fun, believe it.
Do you think the doctor uses Naruto band-aids?
That would be cute.